Hello folks and welcome to episode 8 of the Plotcast podcast with me, Tom.
And Dan.
And this week we're looking at the 2002 horror thriller Long Time Dead.
Well, let's get on with it then.
Yeah. So we start off with a Studio Canal logo, which I made a point of writing down, just because it's a bit of a different one to what I've seen before. It's quite... There's lightning bolts and it's all jazzy. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, because it's my first note as well. Because most of the movies I watch, I don't know what they do, whether they actually distribute post after a while, like, after they've been canned and put on the the bottom shelf of Blockbuster.
That's it,
they re-release them or something.
As the bargain bin.
I'm not sure, but they did do stuff with Evil Dead, and when you listen to it, you actually hear that. So it goes across and you hear like, oh, pink, and it goes, evil! And that is actually what it is. It's the Evil Dead thing. So when I hear that, I go, ooh, it's a horror movie then, is it?
So at least it's got some redeeming feature about it.
That was it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And then after that we get a nice, is it working title? Is that the publisher?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, either, yeah. They all share some responsibility in terms of production or distribution.
Yeah, I think they tend to work together quite a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
Not a filmmaker. When we start, we get a past setting in Morocco in 1979.
Mm-hmm.
And there's eerie music and bearded people chanting.
Lots of hippies.
Lots of hippies. And they've got a devil's Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
And they're moving it. What do you call the thing in the centre of a Ouija board?
Yeah, the cursor.
The cursor.
I don't know. Yeah, because I was pondering on that.
Because in today's world, it'd just be touchscreen, wouldn't it? Just move your finger up and down. I don't know what it's called. Well, for the purposes of
everybody who is familiar with the concept of a Ouija board knows there's something. It's either a wooden, weird sort of spade-shaped kind of
the rocker. I want to. Should we call the?
But just call it the cursor.
We'll call it the cursor. Okay, so they're moving the cursor back and forth.
Well, it's a fucking glass. But anyway, that's later. It's a glass.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get all these people in robes and long hair. They're chanting and moving the cursor around the Ouija board, and then we get this kind of first-person perspective of some things moving really fast down a hallway and taking lots of turns. I mean, I don't know what hallway this is, where there's no doors and just.
But again, straight away, it's reminiscent of the fact that it's Studio Canal in my book, because I was like, well, that's very Evil Dead.
That is very Evil Dead, especially like coming up through the woods.
Yeah, and it's that whole I think they use it a couple of times going forward through the movie of this. Yeah, it's the same rushing of a unembodied kind of. It's just the camera going.
It's an incredibly cheap way to get a menacing effect of something
of a
spirit or a demon or a werewolf or what have you. Anyway, so this disembodied whatever it is, finally gets towards the cursor, and then the title comes up. Yeah. Long Time Dead.
Or as I like to call it, Scooby-Doo and the Haunted Post-it Notes.
We had very similar take on that.
I love it. But yeah, and then I quite like it because, just as it comes into that bit though, you get all the sound effects and stuff that, again, I think sound like The Evil Dead. But you kind of get this, as it sort of reaches the cursor, or whatever you call it, you get like this sort of black voidy kind of thing, and you see something stirring in it as it comes up. Some
wrongdoings.
Yeah, but this is
aspiring.
This makes me think, even before we've got to the credit, this is something that films around this time, or maybe even just horror films in general, all like to do this: give you this little bit of a scariness, and then give you a bit of quiet time.
Oh yeah,
to you mull on it and go.
It's incredibly time. It's the same way.
Easy now.
It's like the way Scream started. Starts off with a kill and then it's back to high school or wherever it was.
Yeah. But it's always like this. This fade to black is to give you like a bit of a breath to be like, right, this is kind of what it's going to be like. So you either fuck off now or you're watching a bit of a scary movie.
And now let's have some characters.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
And that cuts slowly to the interior of this. Again, it seems to be a running theme with the films we talk about. A really unrealistically massive apartment.
Yeah.
And it's slowly zooming in on a projector which is projecting towards the camera. And there's some fitting music to let us know that it's the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Kind of ravey, kind of.
Yeah, and we get an opening monologue which says, "We were just three guys sitting on a couch." He's not Scouse. Sitting on a couch, getting very, very fucked up. That's all.
Up indeed.
From now on, in my head, he's going to be Scouse, even though he was Scottish.
Well, okay, fair enough.
And then that's where we get introduced to who we got. We've got Liam, Rob, and Webster. Played by Joe. What's his name? Joe Absalom. Absalom. Yeah, who at the time, because I've seen this previously many years ago and couldn't remember it. I only knew him from EastEnders, which I thought it was amazing that he was in a horror film at the time.
Yeah,
I think he's in what's the one with Martin Clunes? Doc Martin. I think he's in Doc Martin as well.
Huh. At least he got some shoes out of it.
Yeah, you got Lucas Haas there as well, who has been in many things as a child actor.
Yeah, I recognised him. Again, he's one of those that I know I've seen him in something, but I can't remember what. But I'm sure, wasn't he in something like The Faculty or
no.
something around that era? He was in a couple of these kind of creepy horror films.
He's the kingpin from Brick.
Yes, yeah.
He's the little boy from Witness.
Yeah.
And he's, of course, Alex the Kid. Because he's got the exact same head and big ears.
Very big ears.
But I'm going to point this out now that he looks a lot like Rick Mayall doing The People's Poet, doesn't he?
Alright, I'll concede that.
And then we also have Liam, played by Alec Newman, who, the first known time I've seen him in something. Although his IMDb catalogue, he looks like the most accomplished out of all of them, I think. Possibly,
yeah. Again, it's weird when you go onto IMDb to find out who played who. And the person that you thought, was maybe... I mean, in this film, it's technically he's the lead.
I suppose he's the lead. Way. He's the one that's clearly had a bit of acting, experience.
Yeah. But in terms of, his overall, impact in the story, he's kind of...
Follows him.
But, but when I'm watching it, I thought, well, yeah, obviously Webster, the only American in it, right?
Yeah.
You could tell he was a little bit Hollywood, if that makes sense.
And my favourite character.
And then they got Joe Absalom. He's got that kind of very recognisable British cheeky chappy kind of face.
He's the cheeky Londoner, isn't he?
Yeah.
The cheeky scally.
Yeah. But yeah, then other characters, they've got no presence on there whatsoever. So...
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. But it's... Again, very 90s, introduction of the monologue narrative from one of the main characters kind of thing. And
it's the only time that we get a narrative throughout the whole film, so it's like we don't even need it really.
Because it sort of betrays the opening ideal of it. You think it's going to be one of those that's like, and then we went to this and this was really fucking fun.
All he pretty much says is, we were just three guys getting fucked up, and it cuts to the three guys on the couch having a joint in a beer. It's like, well, we could have ascertained that ourselves.
Because he literally says, we're getting really fucked up now, aren't we?
So I guess we can see that. But then Rob, played by Joe Absalom.
Yeah.
Just so everyone can keep up.
Yeah.
He stubs out the doobie and he pings up and says, right, we're going out, and goes to fix his hair.
Yeah. And then we see a bit of the projector and what the guys are actually looking at. It's kind of like photos of them and nights out and them dicking around kind of things. And because Rob's on about, I'm going to pull tonight, I'm going to, I've Brill cream my hair and all that lot, got my Old Spice on, whatever. And he's chatting about birds, and then obviously this picture flashes up of him on the toilet.
It's Liam on the toilet.
Oh, it's Liam on the toilet, and everyone sort of just loses it and goes a bit crazy for it. But I thought it was kind of funny because I was watching it like, yes, that's that's a standard comedic, he's on the loo kind of gag. But I looked at it and I was like, you know what? If I ever go on Facebook, that's all I see, but it's all women. For some reason, they have a thing on a night out. You've got to have a photo of you taking a piss in a cubicle.
But they kind of like it. Yeah, but it's like, I'm going for a week. Come on, selfie time.
But why I don't get it. Like, if we started posting pictures of us taking a piss in public, we'd get some kind of.
Well, I think the
ASBO for it.
The stand-up wee for the man is less censored than the sit-down wee for the woman.
However, in public, it's more acceptable for me to go and piss behind a tree. But if my bird goes and does it, everyone's like, "Whoa, dude!"
If I'm taking a poo,
yeah.
But still,
that's a different thing, yeah. I'm saying I don't understand the idea of it. Is that they're like, how cool are we? Like, dude,
yeah, you've obviously drank too much for your bladder to handle.
Yeah, but how needy do you have to be to even be like, look, I can pee, I can wipe my own ass? Like, yeah, good for you.
Well, I was going to brag about that later. But,
oh yeah,
whatever. But I appreciate any film that references the toilet. I'm happy with.
Yeah. I just kind of wanted to shoehorn that in there.
Yeah.
It just came into my head. I was like, oh, for fuck, why? Why is everything people on toilets these days?
Although this film was made before that became a thing, so really it's a trendsetter.
They're to blame. I'm going to, yeah.
They really are. So then Webster, Lucas Haas, pipes up and goes, I got a feeling you're going to find the hottest girl there, come back here, and you're going to jack off in a sock.
Yeah. I like that, because that seems more accurate.
Yeah. And I think this is where we get Stella walking, isn't it?
Yeah.
She says she's been at college all day.
Yeah, and I love how she says that, like, oh, fucking all day.
All day. So this is where you kind of get the idea that they are all students, even though I don't know how old they all are.
That line kind of almost explained how shitty their flat was, because it's horrible. Again, it's one of these, it's too big to be a rational living room that these people could afford, but it's that kind of decayed, all the wallpaper's mottled and coming off, and it looks like the set from Bottom. It actually does. Like, everything's stained and manky. It's like, all right, they're students.
It's the old school listed building.
Yeah.
The loft from The Crow, kind of. It reminds me of the big house from Spaced.
Yeah, kind of.
But I think she comes in and takes a beer out the fridge.
Well, yeah, and she has a little, because Rob's still banging on about how he's going to pull people. So she kind of takes the piss, and she says like, "Oh, you got sex on the brain." And then one of them, Liam, pipes up or someone and says, "Oh, my auntie thought you had plumbing heck." Had the face of a choir boy.
Now she had a nice ass.
Yeah, exactly, and I love that because it was just a nice little,
But it's great afterwards. Liam just jumps straight up and starts roughing up his brill creamed hair.
Yeah,
and he just starts whining like a baby.
Lads.
Not my hair. And they all leave.
Yeah,
off to a party.
Yeah, there's a cut to basically a club, and there's a girl on the stairs.
This is where we meet Lucy.
Because we find out she's trying to call Stella, who's at home like just got out of the shower or something.
Yeah.
Walking around, and they have a little conversation of.
Well, it's weird for one because he runs downstairs because it's a payphone downstairs which just seemed out of place to me.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have, I don't know what it used to be, this building, but yeah, they've got like a payphone at the bottom of the stairs, and that's what she gets through to.
Yeah.
But yeah, she basically asks if she's coming to this party, and he says she'll be there in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But once she puts the phone down, she feels a wisp behind her.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because I forgot about that. Her journey to the telephone is extraordinary, isn't it? Because she's creeping down the stairs of her own flat. With a baseball bat, or
no, she gets the baseball bat from under the stairs.
Oh, it just happens.
With the MVP of the whole film, there's a nice bicycle.
Oh yeah, I noticed that a few times. I was like, ooh,
makes it more appearances than most of the characters. Yeah. So she hears some rattling around the kitchen, and she grabs a baseball bat, and tension builds as the music ensues, and she gives it a right good clackering to one of the units.
Yeah,
and up pops Joe.
Yeah. Looking very dodgy.
He looks very dodgy. He's got big, long black curtains, a big whomper of a nose, and a leather jacket.
Yeah, he's like a young Jimmy Nail.
Yeah, so he's been to the Brandon Lee School of how to dress and how to behave.
Yeah, how to be the moody sexpot in a film.
The moody sexpot, and he looks a lot like was it Tommy the White Ranger from Power Rangers?
Yeah, okay. Ark, that's a pull. Yeah, he kind of does, to be fair.
But he explains that he's the new housemate and he's a friend of Joe's.
Which suddenly makes everything fine,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's going, and she doesn't question it anymore, and he's pretty much immediately relaxed.
He's immediately let off the hook and proceeds to do some schmoozing.
Schmooze.
Tells Stella that she fits the description perfect.
Fuck you! I'm Joe. Your new housemate and a friend of Rob's.
What are you doing creeping around? You scared the shit out of me.
Come on, I'm sorry. I'm a scary sort of guy. You must be Stella, yeah?
Yeah. How do you know?
Well, you, fit Rob's description.
Which is basically saying that whoever it is it Liam or Rob?
He's Rob's friend.
Yeah, so he says, so basically Rob said, oh, she's fit, and he was like, yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, okay, and but she's kind of like, oh, why thank you, sir. Like that's the nicest thing anyone said, like, oh, you're actually quite fit. Yeah.
In your bathrobe.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so you coming to this party then? And then I think we get a cut to outside.
Where they're walking outside.
And we get the this is where he says, I've got some naughty little pills. Are you going to be a naughty little girl? And she's like, I always am. But it's okay because enter the theme park Ryan. The theme park owner. It's creepy old man Becker.
Old man Becker, yeah, exactly. Played by Tom Bell, who has probably done more in his career than any of these people.
I think so. I think he may have passed away as well.
Oh,
we need to have a death bell.
Oh, that was damn, man, that was harsh. How about this one?
Death.
Did you hear it? I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, he sort of pops up and there's a bit of a.
He asks who Joe is, and he says, I think she says that he's replacing Conrad.
Yeah.
We never meet Conrad, but I like the sound of him.
Yeah, he would have probably lightened up the whole affair.
I believe so. He explains that there's a problem with the wiring, and they might need to go in some of your rooms.
Yeah.
And he goes, don't worry, won't read your diaries.
Yeah.
Which is, he says it in a way that he knows he's just pissing her off.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just being a bit condescending there.
Yeah, I mean, it's very archetypal, creepy old man dialogue.
But there was I thought he was going to tie in and it really didn't. There's a weird little bit of dialogue there where he's like, oh, so who's moving out? And she's like, Conrad. And thank God. So apparently they didn't like him anyway. And he's like, well, I ought to know these things because people are going missing at the moment.
Does he say that?
It was a little line that I was like, ooh, is that exposition? Which turns out, no.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's just a weird, creepy thing for old man Becker to say. Don't come round here past midnight. I don't fucking know.
He's the old man from, is it Pet Sematary?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And then they walk off. And then we get a cut to, again, another callback to, I suppose, the last minute. I've figured out that every film we do has got a reference to the last film we did.
Yeah,
and I think I only notice it because there's only so many different scenes you can have in a film, but we've got an indoor dance rave.
Yeah.
And it's very, very 2000s, and we hear Blue Lips by Depth Charge.
Yeah.
I Shazammed it.
Shazam. It's quite amped up, quite positive. I don't know the word for music.
It's inoffensive.
I don't know. Yes, you would dance to it. It's got a high tempo.
Yes, it's a nice bit of house.
Yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect people in a club to be dancing to at that time.
Yeah,
so, yeah. But it's kind of weird for me because it's the music's fine, but it's shot a little bit slow mo. So I was like, that makes it not really fit with the music a little bit.
And I doubt that's actually the music they're all dancing to.
Yeah, exactly.
Although it's a set anyway, so there's probably no music. It's like, just jump up and down now.
Do you imagine that? It's
going to be the most eeriest thing in the world.
Just clapping, like, foot sounds.
It's like when you see one of them, what they call, like an iPod party, wherever they were.
Just people shuffling about.
Yeah.
Woo, yeah.
The occasional...
I like this one. What? Yeah. But it was quite...
Chapter 2!
Yeah.
It's getting really good, this audiobook.
Some guy just in the corner like, But yeah, and then you get a weird shot of it, which is like a close-up of... Basically, for this part, she was girl in purple shirt, who's sort of dancing up towards the camera. And she kind of does this thing where she sort of starts... It becomes obvious that you're drawn into a shot of someone recording her rather than, invisible us, the camera.
It's not coincidental. There is a purpose to it.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it through the camera. And again, we don't... till the end of the film, so her name's Annie. Played by Melanie Gutteridge.
Her career is well and truly down the Gutteridge.
Well, I feel bad because, she was the one that... There is no picture on IMDb.
Yeah, there is no picture.
So what the fuck? I mean...
I did Google her and I think she's got a Twitter account that's got a picture on it.
Oh.
But she looks very lonely on it.
We'll have to twat her.
Shall we tweet her and say, we've done a podcast and you're in it?
Yeah. Would you like us to put a picture on your IMDb for you?
Come on, Gutteridge.
Yeah, pull it out.
Pull it out. But yeah, he kind of pans away and then you realise that it's Liam who's holding a camcorder.
Yeah.
And she gives him a big old smushing, doesn't she?
Smooshing. Yeah. And she's all like, you took your time.
Yeah.
Wait, where you been?
No, she didn't call him Big Boy.
No.
But she kind of whispers something to him and it's obvious that she wants some filthy non-Christian business.
Non-Christian business, yeah.
And I think we just get some panning shots of the kind of dance room, which looks like an old... I don't know, like maybe again like an old listed building. It's got like these big white columns like it might have been a chapel or something at some point, or a church maybe. And we see that Webster's on the DJ decks, so that's why they're.
It took me a minute because you don't actually see his face. You just see Liam say he gives him the video.
Yeah, he says
and just
look
says,
after
look after that. But he's kind of just like an arm at that point, so it's not till later till you pan out and see that he's got it and he's the DJ. Like, okay, that's that.
That's when he's filming some women's bums.
Yeah, as you do with your mate's camcorder.
But yeah, she takes him upstairs and they have some fun on the barrel. I've got
fun on a barrel.
Meanwhile, we've got Joe and Stella. They're doing some naughty drugs and drinking at the bar. And some old school classic smoking indoors.
Yeah. Oh.
It always dates an English movie when they're smoking indoors.
Pretty much, yeah. And again, it's I guess the decade or just that kind of a chill out room. It's all beanbags and
it's beanbags and blow up chairs, isn't it?
And it's some ambient-y kind of music or whatever's on is still followed through from the dance floor. But you get a new character here, don't we? Because we've got Liam and Joe who are not Liam, sorry. Rob and Joe who are in there with the
I think Rob's
Spencer.
there as well. Yeah, Spencer's the new introduction.
Well, at this point, what have we got there? But they're chatting about something as basically Rob and Annie come back in, and I can't remember if the note isn't here, so I feel like I haven't reached that point yet. But she basically has. Comes in and they're like, oh, we know what you've been up to.
Yeah, I think she says, oh, you look a bit flushed, and she was like, oh yeah, I was busy dancing.
There it is, yeah. And they basically say, yeah, with your shirt inside out, and it's kind of like, oh.
Then they get some more panning around shots, and then they're talking about the thrill, aren't they? It's all about the risk. If a girl thinks someone's going to walk in the room, she'll come quicker.
Yeah. And we get a weird part here where, like I say, we've got Spencer, who's a new character at this stage.
He's kind of like, I suppose he's a bit surfery.
Yeah.
But he's like Surfer Chav.
Yeah, exactly. But he's a little bit woo, a little bit way, a little bit but Spencer here, James Hiller. I nearly misread that then.
James Hitler.
James Elizabeth Hiller. He's basically going on about the rush and all this lot, and he's kind of like, you guys are fun and all that lot. But he decides he's going to tell his own story, which for some reason is about, I can't remember where he says he is, whether he's in Amsterdam in a club, and he says he's in this room it's all men, but he gets pulled up to have sex on the stage.
He's got to shag this bird.
And and he's kind of like, but I did it. And he's like, I'll try anything once. And that's kind of that. They set up his character,
But that's when Joe pops up and goes, "You ever done a railway line?"
Yeah, I didn't actually catch what he said until we get the shot.
Yeah. So basically, somehow they got outside real quick to a railway.
Well,
line.
It's because you get a slight little cut of DJ Webster filming girls. This is where he's filming Buttons.
Yeah.
So then that is in the cut, and then we get the train line where. I think it's Spencer who is pouring coke on the train line, basically, as they're all sort of stood in a line.
Spencer, Rob, Liam and Joe. Yeah. And they say that the last one to do a line before the train comes, is the winner, basically. Yeah. It's got the biggest balls.
Yeah, exactly. And again, there's a bit more cuts to the club and shit, and they come back. And then they're sort of standing there and they're like, well, get on with it then, hurry up. And he does, and as soon as he's finished, they'll go, right. He's like, the train's miles away, and they're like, fuck off, you toss it. We just wanted the coke, who gives a shit. So I quite like that, it's a bit lads,
yeah. They've got their own little traits, they're all mates.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the fun's over now, it's proper back into the chill out room, there's no music, and they're just sitting on the blow up chairs, having a nice little time.
That's it. And at this point you get Lucy and Stella walking off through the dance floor to go and join them all, and it seems that you get the pairing off there. Stella kind of just goes off somewhere, but we see that Lucy makes straight for Spencer and cuddles up with him, so like, alright, they're a thing then, right? So they all sort of pair off, and then they get to try and discuss the plot of the film maybe a little bit. Or,
so I think she comes in and she asks what they're all talking about, and it's like, oh, what gives you the biggest buzz?
That's it.
And he goes, oh, it has to be sex with someone you really love.
Yeah.
As a joke.
Yeah, exactly, like a little...
Well, I like that, because it just pans to Webster and he goes, that's a weird thought.
Yeah.
And at this point he's filming the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the collection of friends.
At this point, I thought this was going to be the thing, I thought it was going to be like a half-found footage kind of bullshit, where he won't let go of this camcorder for life and death. turns out, spoilers, no, it's not that kind of film. But I guess it kind of sets him up as being a little bit geeky, maybe being a little bit peripheral.
He's the media junkie.
I guess he's more outside of the group in a way, more voyeuristic, I guess. I don't know. So I thought maybe that's what was set. This was going to set up our characters for us.
Yeah,
and in some ways it does.
But yeah, this is where Spencer says that the weirdest buzz he had was when he did a Ouija board.
That's it. Yeah.
And I think Lucy Pike was up at that point and was like, all this time trying to make you more spiritual, and you've done a bloody Ouija board.
Yeah, you've done a bloody Ouija board.
That sets her up as the kind of shaman hippie.
Velma.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. But then there's a weird shot where then he just looks right into camera and just goes, "It's a buzz!
It's a buzz!"
And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. And then there's a
He's like, well. And he has a look around. Looks like we got hooks loose. Let's give it a go. And they proceed to do so.
Yeah.
So I think this is the thing that always annoys me in these kind of films. Now they're just up in the loft somewhere, and it's always the same setup. It's a big abandoned.
Oh, I think it's the basement now, though, isn't it?
Oh, is it the basement?
I think it's the basement.
No, it's up high.
Oh, it must be.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the floor below the roof. Yeah. Okay.
But it's always the lights won't work unless you turn on the breakers. It's one of those.
Also, usually when you go to places, there's an element of security in clubs, I've noticed. So, they don't usually let you wander off to the roof.
Well, maybe Webster owns it. We don't know.
But either way, it's the old, broken glass and chain storage.
That's it, yeah. There's a few chairs knocking around.
Yeah. I love how there's always... Why are there always chains hanging from the ceiling? Like,
got to be chains, so when the wind blows, they can jangle.
Yeah, I know, but... Also, and then the white plastic over the fucking window that's kind of just never stuck down properly. It's full of spookiness.
It is. It's an abandoned... It's the classic abandoned warehouse look.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the club is, right? It's a big fucking warehouse club. It just is. That's why it's massive and shit like that. So at least it's realistic to think, yeah, they've probably got the space up there or whatever. But yeah, they sort of start setting up, and they use a big friggin' sheet of glass.
A sheet of glass on the floor. Oh, that'll do as a table. That's convenient.
Exactly.
And then I think Lucy, she starts writing all the letters out.
Yeah,
she
starts
A, B, C. And I think one of them turns to Joe and go, "Hey, I'll pay attention, learn something."
Yeah, exactly like that. And Webster decides he's going to video it. He goes and puts the camera down on a barrel again, or whatever is there.
Yeah.
And so to get it all in shot. Again, things that I thought were going to be a little bit more influential towards the plot. I thought there was going to be lots of exposition via that. It didn't. I guess I don't know whether it's the thing that those kind of 90s films do, or a lot of films tend to do, is that they put that heavy on it. It's like the Poltergeist or whatever. It's watching from the security cam in the bedroom, and you see the jump scares and the things that creep towards it. I thought it was going to be heavy on that.
Yeah, I do like that. That turns up in the film, because it's nice to see it. It's seeing an angle that you're not meant to. It's a bit naughty.
It makes it. I think it tries to make it a little bit more realistic. Try and make it hit home a little bit more.
It seems like the scene is less set up when you see it through one of those kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It just gives it a realism, really.
Yeah, because the camera can't move. There's gonna be no special audio, no special effects.
Yeah, and you can see clearly, all the characters in frame. You can see that if anything happens from their peripheries, it's not them that did it. If you see a shadow walk in the background, ooh, some shit went down.
And there are a lot of films from this era that did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Think of any horror film from the 2000s, they do it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I thought this was going to be another one of those.
It does it to a little bit of a degree, but yeah, at this point we just know it's being filmed.
Yeah. And they discuss what they're going to do, and one of them, I think it's probably Rob or someone's like, "Oh, we should try and get Marilyn Monroe. Let's try and call her up.
Call up a dead bird." And then I think it's Annie that goes, "Let's ask for next week's lottery numbers." And it annoyed me because there's an overhead shot later on. There's no numbers on that board.
Yeah, so
it was like, "You're going to spell them out in words."
Oh, they take ages.
Bloody Annie.
Twat. But at this point, so you get this feeling as well, because obviously when we're going down, it's very clear that Lucy is the one that's going to lead this. She knows what she's doing, and I found it weird as well that she was kind of like, I don't want to do this, but when she walks in, she's like, here, right here, let's fucking do it, right fucking here,
like a trouble pig who's found.
Yeah, exactly. But she sniffed out the spiritual hotspot, made him do it there, and she's setting it up, and she's like, no, look, you can't call up people. It doesn't work like that. We open a connection, and whoever's there is there. It's like dialing a random phone number. You don't know who you're going to get. She doesn't say that, but she probably should have.
Yeah.
But then so they're talking about the cursor and stuff, and she's like, right, don't fucking push it, just put a finger on it, let it go, don't put any pressure on it, and for Christ's sake, don't take your fucking finger off it.
Don't take that finger off that glass.
Yeah.
Never.
The one rule.
The one bit I like about that is when she's kind of explaining it, and she's dead serious. It's obviously bollocks, and they're all kind of like laughing to each other.
Yeah, like who gives a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, they know how silly it is what she's saying. Yeah. So I quite like that.
Yeah, they're all very happy that this is just some drunk chicanery.
Yeah, and I think Rob says it's nearly midnight.
Yeah,
that's when all the real bad spirits come out.
Yeah,
and then I think it's Stella who gets a bit scared, and he just pans to Webster again. And he goes, "You're freaking the girls out, Joe." Well, Rob, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That's why I think Webster for me was like the comic relief. He's so sinister. Yeah.
But then at this point, Rob just goes, "All right, Mystic Meg, get on with it." Yeah,
I've got that down. You cannot fault a Mystic Meg, Paul.
Yeah, and it very British audience related. Like, I doubt anyone in the States is going to go, well, who the fuck is Mystic Meg? It's quite a little in joke.
It is, yeah.
But I quite like that. And then they get on with it, and they do what I like to call the Ouija hokey cokey.
The Ouija hokey cokey?
They slide it to the left, and slide it to the right. And they begin the whole thing.
What is that?
As it goes to someone who can't spell.
A banana.
It wants a banana.
Keep quiet. Sometimes it takes time for them to focus.
I think the first time it spells out I banana.
It does say banana, right?
It does, and then Webster goes, "It wants a banana."
It wants a banana, yeah. And they're like, it can't even spell. What the fuck is that?
But then the whole time, Liam's not looking pleased. He's looking a bit concerned.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit freaked out by the whole thing. And, most of them are a little bit trepidatious about it.
They're all a bit nervous, but they're excited.
Like nervous giggles. It's, oh. And at that point, someone's like, oh, someone should just ask if it can tell the future.
And straight to yes.
And it's
a scratchy.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Well, that didn't have as much gravitas as I thought it would pick up audio.
Yeah.
But it's a glass anyway, isn't it? So it's a big like, and it's because it's on the glass. It's one of those like fingers down the chalkboard. It's like
it's scratching glass.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think Webster says, "Oh, the glass is hot," and Liam's like, "No, it's just friction. It's just friction."
Yeah.
And then it starts. Again, it does the hokey cokey again.
Yeah.
And it spells out all die.
Yeah. And it does it in a rhythm, so you really know that's what it's trying to say. It just
no,
keeps doing it. All die.
All die. Yeah.
All die.
And then I think
it'll be Lucy.
It's Lucy who freaks out a bit, and she's just like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And then it spells out Gin.
Gin.
DJINN.
Yeah. Not the good kind.
Not the good kind. Not the Ronald Cox, the sweaty fox.
Gin. No, the gin.
The gin.
Which was cool because I think there's a few. Was it Wishmaster series? They were all focused on the gin. And I was a little bit disappointed because I was hoping maybe it would be more like that, a little bit more silly, maybe.
Nobody get to see a gin. Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Anyway, at this point, it spells out gin and keeps spelling out gin. Give it some bloody gin. And Liam has like a flashback.
Yeah, he gets a flashback to Morocco. And a guy with a burning neck.
Yes, yeah.
But he completely freaks out.
Yeah.
Takes his finger off the glass. Smashes it on the floor and runs off to wet his pants.
He frigging legs it, yeah.
He does.
And what we see really is kind of the opening scene that we had. It's Morocco.
It's Morocco, 1980, whatever it was.
So for some reason he's sort of tapped into that. And he freaks out. He legs it out, and people start to be like, yeah, we're all considerably freaked out by this. Let's get the hell out of here.
And I think Lucy says sometimes spirits try to scare you.
Yeah.
And
but she's not happy because she's like, God, I told you, just don't take your finger off.
You had one job.
One job.
One job.
Not only did he take his finger off, he broke the bloody glass.
Making more of a mess.
Yeah. So they all kind of go out, and then what we see is the shot from the handheld camera just of the table static.
So we're reminded that it was filming the whole time.
It was going on.
I think that's when Webster goes, "Am I the only one that enjoyed it?"
Yeah. And it's a bit weird, and then we get a shot of Annie who's gone up a floor to the roof.
She's gone to find Liam.
Yeah, she's gone to see where he is.
He's doing a long stare off into the distance.
Yeah.
She asks him what happened and says everyone's equally as freaked out.
Yeah.
And he's just like, nothing happened.
No,
it clearly did.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes on to explain that he doesn't want to dump all of his fucked up stuff on her.
Yeah.
And then she says that she wants him.
Yeah, I want all of you.
All of you.
So many cheesy lines.
There is some awful dialogue.
Yeah.
But he goes to give her ring, And she says, no, I can't take that. He's like, yeah, just put it on a chain.
Yeah, do it.
I was like, well, that's still taking it.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. But she does. She takes the ring necklace, and she starts being a bit like. And he's very concerned. Where's your inhaler?
Where's your bloody inhaler?
Where is it?
So she goes down. She says it's still back down in the room.
Yeah, she's like, I guess, and I didn't realise that. She's like, I left my handbag downstairs.
Yeah.
So I'll go and get that.
Well, he's like, let's go back then. She's like, no, you wait here. I'm gonna go off on my own downstairs where nothing bad could ever happen to me.
Yeah.
So she goes back down to the Ouija board table.
Yeah. But
actually, no, I think she stacks it over her bowels.
Yeah, she does. Like almost immediately. I fucking loved it because it was one of the. Oh, is she got? No, she's there. I quite like that. And then she kind of, for some reason, rather than just picking her fucking bag up and leaving, she decides she's going to sit down and sort of look at her hair in the pocket.
She has 2 puffs of her Ventolin first, and then she has a little look at her in the makeup mirror in a completely dark room where she wouldn't see any blemishes. But what Annie does is what Annie does.
Yeah.
But then she notices, oh shit, the necklace has gone. I shouldn't have fallen over that bin bag.
Yeah.
Where could it be?
And where was it?
Where was it, Dan? You want to explain where it was?
Yeah, it was on a plank over a pit.
Miles away.
I'd love to know how it travelled there. There must have been some force behind her fall for it to ping off in that direction.
Unless she's got a magnetic plank.
But she quite clearly points out, how the hell did this get here? Like, really? Yeah, we're all
to the director, this is silly.
Like, yeah, exactly. Shut up and reach out over that very lethal-looking fall.
And don't go under the barrier as you'd be able to reach it. Go over the top so it's just out of reach. That annoyed me, because she would have been able to reach it.
There were 1,000,001 things she could have done, such as going to the side of the pit and pulling the plank closer to the ledge.
That's right.
Because it was quite obvious that you could do such a thing. But fuck it, it's a horror movie, so let's go forward. So she's giving it the whole. It's there.
Slightly out of reach.
Use the force, Annie. I wanted to cut my nails. I shouldn't have done it.
But then.
Yeah.
Well, we get a figure walk past the camera, don't we, basically?
Yeah, you see like a shadow.
But then it plays a sound effect to make us, the audience, jump.
Yeah, like.
But it makes her jump, so.
Yeah, so she's like, oh fuck.
Post effect sounds.
Yeah.
And then she's really freaking out, despite the fact that it would clearly be Liam.
Yeah.
Come back to find her.
Yeah. And she starts going, Rob, this isn't funny. Come on, She starts going, someone's dicking about here, and she's looking around and getting a bit worked up.
Yeah, and I think there's some scratchy noises.
Yeah, and
she's just kind of pondering around, and
does she return to the table area? Has she gone back for a bag or something at this stage?
I think that's kind of where the entrance to the door is, isn't it, to go to the roof? But then she sees on the window, all die. Now,
evil post-it
notes. Here's a problem I've got with this.
Yeah.
There was only one L.
Oh, what?
Well, it's an L.
Oh, in the Ouija board.
So either
there must have been numbers and shoes at 1. Or it's an I. Oh no, because he needs to die.
Yeah. So it's definitely 2 L's. So either he rewrote them, or it's got to be the person who wrote the notes in the first place, which would give you a red herring that it's loose. Anyway, it doesn't matter because later on it even double backs in itself, and Annie is written on the glass.
Yeah. So
she bolts outside to the roof to find Liam and shit her knickers.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, this is where I think she goes to try and go back in, but then the door's locked all of a sudden, and she sees Annie on. Well, the post-it notes are on the glass.
Yeah. But then there's something that sounds not altogether unlike a bird noise at that point. Like, and she's like, Rob, Liam, what's going on? This isn't funny.
But we get it's the fast motion, isn't it? We kind of see it running up the stairs.
Out,
the cameraman's legging it up the stairs after her.
Well, that's it, because that's when she freaks out and she gets to the roof and you see that post-it note that says Annie on it.
Yeah.
As she shuts the door behind her, kind of thing.
And then she kind of runs to a skylight, which is kind of one of the extruding skylights.
Yeah.
I don't know how better you'd explain it.
I would say like a glass tent.
Like a glass tent which makes a part of the roof that you can see up through from within.
Yeah, exactly. Like the triangular, it, like a skylight. Fucking, it's, you always see them in the tops, Spider-Man films, Batman films. You always see this massive glass thing that probably would never.
It's the thing that's put there for the purpose of being smashed through.
Yeah, exactly, for SWAT people to climb.
That's exactly it. Go A squad.
But also, I wanted to know at this point, how does the fucking spirit know her name when we still don't know her name? It still hasn't even been said. That is how we figure out her name.
That is true.
Because it says Annie, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, thank you.
I think it is slightly explained later on.
No, later on. But at this stage, you're like, oh, right, okay, she's got a name then, sound. Because she was just purple.
Maybe it went through her handbag and like got her ID. Because she did leave her handbag around.
That would be good.
just a demon sat there, like,
and then another person
flicking through a purse.
Yeah, another one that's just like, you're not 22, fucking liar. Anyway, but yeah, what you see is she fuck knows why. So she sort of sees this glass, and then she sort of runs along the barrier, you know, like the scaffold, the railings at the top of the roof, and sort of does a whole, I might chuck myself over this for no reason, and then decides to run back again to the door and back to the thing, and decides to put her full body weight onto the glass. It is like when Eddie from Bottom is trying to get the pigeon pellets, isn't he? And he's like, just distribute your weight and you'll evenly handle the weight. Yeah. It crashes straight through. I love that. She's banging on the glass, and there's some stoners looking back up at her like, ugh. So you get a shot, and this kind of annoyed me a little bit because I thought maybe continuity slightly. It seems to be from the shot that he is directly under this window, like on his back looking up at this window. And he sort of half sees her. It's kind of like, are they stoned? Is he seeing things?
Well, they're passing a cigarette around.
Yeah, you know, whatever. Are they fucked up? Is he actually seeing this one? And then it sort of keeps panning between that guy and then, you know, her banging on the window, going.
I think the cameraman catches up with her at this point.
Yes, yeah.
And then we just see her trying to climb up onto the top of the skylight.
I never got that right.
And not run around it.
Yeah, but climb up. And then what I quite liked is, again, because it keeps cutting in, I noticed the music here was 07 in the waiting line, which is one of my more favourite songs. So that's like the chill out. It's like,
yeah.
And then she's outside going, I mean, it's the contrast in chill and her freaking out.
We hear some, so we don't, at this point, we don't see anything.
No.
Basically, we just hear some maracas.
Yeah.
we hear some maracas, and then, would you believe it, crash bang wallop.
Through. And what a fall, man.
It's a good fall, actually.
It's a good fall.
It's a good fall. Someone really does fall from a height.
But this is like, but wouldn't you fall on the beanbags that were directly under?
Yeah.
So maybe it's an angle issue from the camera.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, she fully hits the bar.
Yeah, she bounces right off the bar onto her face.
Splat.
And, spills all the drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're expensive in nightclubs.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, she's snuffed it massive, and then it kind of pans over, and she's got burn marks on her legs.
Yeah.
And then I think we get a last shot of the Ouija board again.
I think there might be the shot through the camera, maybe.
Yeah, maybe through the camera, and we might see. I don't know. It's more. Had you forgotten? Had you forgotten that? No, we did film it. Yeah. So we're going to show you again. So okay, we can get on now. We can get on with the film.
Yeah, probably. But there's
But then So their friends died, and they're all they're just going home now.
Yeah, but there is a shot like the police are outside. You know, there are police.
Oh yeah, there's police there,
stuff like that, and they've obviously been there for maybe like another hour or so, explaining shit and freaking out and yada yada. And then basically, we get Scooby Doo and the gang.
Yeah, because they are in the mystery machine.
They pile into a VW camper, don't they?
Yeah.
And it is. I was just expecting some music, like da-da-da-da. Like zoinks! Yeah. Oh, what are we gonna do?
But yeah, Liam's in the back, and he's like, "Oh, I mean, I assume the ring he gave her was like, we're gonna get married one day."
Yeah.
And now she's dead, and he just didn't look too bothered. He's like, "Oh, that was a downer on the evening."
Yeah, did not go the way he planned.
So yeah, they pull up back at
the flat, really.
The flat, yeah, or Wayne Manor, whatever you want to call it. And it's old man Becker. It's creepy old man Becker who runs the amusement park.
That's it. I love him. And they sort of just blank him pretty much. And
you kind of get the impression that he knows what's happened because he kind of lowers his head like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, which is weird because it's like, well, how does he know? He's like, he's following them, or he's, who's informing him of their friend's immediate and almost, like an hour ago demise. News travels fast.
News just travel fast.
Hampstead Heath or wherever.
Wherever. Yeah, do we ever find out where they are?
Nah, yeah. Randomly England.
Yeah, random England.
England.
Possibly London. But yeah, then we get Joe's asking Rob if it's okay if he stays there because he's a stranger. Yeah, he feels a bit uncomfortable, like one of their friends has died.
It feels a bit weird having someone who's not close to you to be here. And he's like, don't be stupid. Like you live here now.
You live here now,
your house, so you've got every right, kind of thing.
So that's the whole gang other than Spencer and Lucy, because they're walking back to Lucy's boat because she lives in a canal boat.
That's it, Shaggy and Velma.
Shaggy and Velma.
Down by the dockyard, yeah. And the thing is, it didn't become immediately clear because they was literally like, oh, they're at a massive ship.
Yeah.
So it was like the cut went like dun dun dun, and you know, like the whole fucking Scooby Doo theme. I was like, oh my god,
you're gonna see some smoke on the water. And it's gonna make a groove.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just but it does, because this scene is all about that. So he gets in a bit of trouble because he's like, look, I need to go and get a bit of gear.
He wants some weed to calm down, doesn't he?
He needs something. He's like, I'm too fucking stressed for this. I really want to get something. She's like, come on, you need. Can't you be with me? One of my best friends.
My friends just died.
She just died.
Oh, she's annoying, isn't she?
A little bit.
I'm in shock.
What the fuck to watch?
For Christ's sake, Spence.
Sorry. Look, maybe I should go and see McCann, see if I can get something.
What, now? You're just gonna go and leave me?
Yeah, come with me, it won't take long.
Spence, I'm in shock. My friend has just died.
All right. Well, she was my friend too, but I really need something to calm me down. Lucy, come with me. I'll be 10 minutes, okay?
So she's pissed. She's like, come on, come with me. And he's like, no, come with me. We'll be like 10 minutes. We'll just go and get it and I'll come back. And she's like, nah, fuck off. She just walks off, and he's like, does the whole, you know, I'm not technically in trouble yet. Like, it's all right, then I'll see you in 5 minutes. You know, like, well, I'll argue about it.
Yeah, we'll have an argument then, as long as I get my gear.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to do that no matter what. So she's pissed, and she sort of heads off down what I thought was, again, a very thin gangway along the dock.
Yes.
And I thought something was immediately going to happen, but
she clambers into her canal boat. Which, have you been on a canal boat inside?
yeah, they're not that big.
I know, this was a lot more spacious on the
Vaulted
inside.
ceilings. Son
Yeah.
of a bitch. Again, brilliant. Good little set, probably. Not little though, realistically, but
So
not much happens. They didn't need that much space for movement, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just a big fucking barge. Like, why not?
But she goes in, and it just so happens that she's got a book on the side, and she flicks to the correct page.
Straight away.
And it's a passage on the gin. Have you got this written down? What it says?
I did. Yeah.
Well, I'll go for the first bit if you want. It says, Jinn, the power of possession. A jinn is an Arabian demon created out of fire. They have occupied the earth for several thousand years, predating the time of Adam.
Yeah.
And I think we get a shot of a picture of a man cowering whilst a big flaming hand, which looks more like Harry and the Hendersons' big hairy claw, is kind of scratching at his cowering in the corner face.
Yes. Well, that was the bit that I had written down.
Oh.
So,
okay, well,
I don't have anything else to say to that. But she does keep looking, and there is another bit that kind of pops up, and it kind of just reiterates the same thing. It's been a jinn based and made of fire, and it kind of leans heavy on the fact that jinn can possess people.
Yeah.
But they can be banished by a shaman. So they can have a banishing and be, banished, I guess.
Right. Not to correct you there. I think it says that they can possess a human if they're summoned without a shaman.
Oh no, it says they can be banished by a shaman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then...
No, it says they can possess a human or any human, but it does say at that point that they can be banished by a shaman.
Okay, fair enough.
Because then that comes up later, and I was like, are they just alluding to the fact that she... Because they kind of are, they're like, why has she got the Penguin Book of Demons, you know, like the Ladybird book.
Don't steal my joke for later.
We've got that one in another form later. But yeah, like the fact that she's got this already means, and you know, she knows what she's doing with the Ouija board. She's occult, so she would be the shaman if there were going to be.
She's on the ball with
film, you know. But what we get there is it kind of happened just before, but it's a shot of Joe in the flat who's in. It's obviously after he's been let in, and he's sort of watching Stella through a door.
No,
that's just before you see Lucy looking at the book. Yeah, there's a cut between her getting into the book and that, and he's just kind of watching her through the door, a little bit creepily because she's kind of getting changed or whatever. And then we get Liam sort of walk out from his door and obscure that and walk into there, and he's kind of like, "Oh, I'm very glad you fucking moved in." So that was kind of funny.
And he just slams the door on him.
Yeah.
And it's back to Lucy in the TARDIS.
That's it, yeah.
But this bit is so needless because it's just got a voiceover of what has happened 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was a bit annoying.
Yeah, it's really not trusting of the audience to remember that don't take your hand off the glass.
Yeah.
It's like, we know.
Like we did, yeah, it was pretty much the scene before.
Yeah,
so
it's like, this
I'm sure
literally just happened. We're like 15 minutes into the film.
Yeah, because you literally hear the like screams and, don't take your finger off the glass, da, 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 da. And it's like, oh,
Well, she sits silently and waits for the audio to finish.
yeah, exactly. And then decides she's going to make a lovely cup of tea.
Yeah, okay. So she lights a little lamp.
Why always gas lamps? But
Why was gas lamps? And it does nothing to light the room.
Then again, they explain that later.
That is true. But yeah, she goes to put the kettle on the hob, and this really does fire up the jug.
Yeah.
Because
boil the jug.
You can tell something's not right with that gas at first because 2 of the flames on it are much higher than the rest of the ring. And she walks off and it's a big...
Yeah, it's like a backdraft, backfire kind of thing.
And she's like, oh shit, fuck!
Yeah.
But then you hear someone upstairs messing around with the plant pots.
Yeah, and like walking on the roof of the boat, really.
Yeah. And she freaks out and starts calling for Spence.
Yeah.
But he doesn't respond.
Oh, so she grabs a knife.
She grabs a knife, and tension builds through the music as it always does.
There are noises.
There are noises, and she's convincingly scared.
Yeah.
With her nice little butter knife, and
yeah, it kind of was. Yeah.
She kind of slowly makes her way down the end of the
to the beaded curtains.
The beaded curtains.
Yeah.
But then we get a flash of light through the window, which is clearly a torch, and then a cut straight to outside, and Spence pushes him.
Yeah. Oi! Oi! Yeah. And he's
what are you doing messing around on my boat?
Yeah, what are you doing with my girlfriend? And he's like, oh, I just came to tell you the electric's out, which is probably obvious.
Like, I'm not on the electric.
He's like, oh, I didn't know that, did I?
He goes, I didn't know that. Just trying to help you, you stupid cow.
That's it. Fantastic. So it's, yeah, all right. She was either being perved on or he was legit going to say that. But he walking about on the roof's a bit of a weird touch.
Yeah. I mean, it was obviously him, but she's convinced that it isn't. It's like, I don't want to be here anymore. So he's like, all right, get your stuff. Let's go and bother our friends.
Yeah.
Impede on their evening.
Yep. Let's go find what the Scooby and the rest of the gang are up to.
That's true. And then we get cut to Stella, and she's having a bit of a snooze.
Stella in bed. In a red bed.
In a red bed.
That's what I wrote.
And then Liam comes in, and she looks at him and just kind of... She really rolls her eyes like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I was really wanting to get some sleep. And he's like, I couldn't sleep. I've been out for some fags.
You've been out for some cigarettes, and you're like...
Snouts and cakes.
Is it that early?
Did she not today, Tom?
I'm wondering what hour of the night this is now, and where he got cigarettes. I'm guessing all night petrol station.
Yeah, he's been to the garage.
He's been to the garage, all night garage.
I mean, I actually had the same thought. I'm thinking it's about like 3, maybe 4 in the morning. It should be getting light in a bit, I reckon.
Well, you see, another thing that I couldn't figure out
unless
was
it could have happened at 10 o'clock, and then the club got shut early, so they were home by midnight.
Maybe,
but never know.
No one wears the same weather-appropriate clothes in this film. I don't know if there's a point to that, but like one guy will be in a vest, one guy will be in a leather jacket, he'll be in a cagoule.
Yeah, it's lazy character development. Yeah. It's like you can pretty much guarantee that if the guy's got loads of gold chains and a big baseball cap on, he's probably a rap. You know that kind of lazy
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, but profiling kind of thing. Like, oh, he's got long hair, leather jacket. He's a greasy, no good kind of guy.
It's a greasy muppet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's lazy character development. But yeah. But
either way, it's still dark outside, and Liam goes and takes a little seat on the bed, and this is where I've got to note that he sits down to do some acting.
Yeah, kind of. It was like this is going to be the salvageable moment for me in this script, where I can kind of just be a bit of a character.
He has a bit of a cry. Yeah. He's okay at doing the cry face.
Yeah.
Whereas Stella behind him, I noticed, was like, shit, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, she does the standard what should a woman do and kind of strokes his hair
his hair. Tries to hide her face.
Yeah, it's kind of half hugging, half nuzzling.
Yeah.
It makes me feel weird. But he kind of just goes, oh, if only I'd gone with her. And she's like, oh, don't beat yourself up. And it's a bit meh.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to Lucy and Spencer.
It's Lucy and Spence, and they're outside.
Yeah.
And then Rob answers the door, but he's dressed like he's going out because he's got his denim jacket on. Sorry, I noticed the costumes in this way too much than I should.
Yeah.
Especially later on, but I'll explain why later. But yeah, she just says that. I think she's talking to Spence, and he's like, "Oh, don't tell them. Don't tell them what happened. It'll just freak them out." So when he answers the door, she's like, "Oh, I just think we should all be together tonight."
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, "Yeah, of course, come in."
Come in.
And I think they're all sat around the dining room table.
Yeah, they all decide if they would have gone to bed, fuck it, everyone's here, let's get back up and smoke cigarettes, basically, and all get worked up.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly what they do. They get very worked up.
I think they're talking about how did she get the burns on her legs or neck or wherever it was.
Yeah. And they're all saying it's got to be something spiritual and shit like this. And Rob's like, no, it was just some fucking nutter.
Yeah.
It's just bad luck. There was some fucking nutter there tonight. Shit went sideways. And, you know, it's got nothing to do with the occult or, you know, whatever. Just forget about it.
I think it's Stella who says, she'd still be alive if we didn't mess around with things we didn't understand.
That's it. But she really directs that at Lucy.
Yeah.
Like, fucking your fault, bitch.
And she's like, yeah, something tried to attack me tonight.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, just shut up.
I thought you weren't going to tell anyone that. But, yeah.
What do you mean, something? I think Webster says.
Yeah, well, she says there was something with us. What do you mean, something?
And I don't know if it's Joe who says something like, what did it look like? He's like, I didn't see it.
Yeah, well,
I just felt it.
And yeah, nobody saw anything. Everyone's like, oh. And they're kind of like, well, we all know Liam fucking reacted weird to it. And that's when he actually joins them at that point.
No, I think he's creeping down the stairs, isn't he? He's sat outside the door listening on the stairs. He doesn't come in.
And he comes in, and I think it's him who says, it's Stella who says there's something that was with us. And Lucy's talking about, she starts saying, well, do you know what it is? It said gin.
It's gin.
It's a gin. It's
Gordon's gin.
Gordon's, yeah. And Joe's kind of like, she's playing with us, she's dicking about, like, you know, she's blowing smoke up her arse and stuff like that. And then she's like, but we were all fucking freaked out. We all did something. We all saw something. And then she starts talking about it.
Yeah, she kind of describes it. She's like, it's a fire demon. Someone killed by a djinn has terrible burns. Mm-hmm. And then there's a shot of a lot of denim in this movie. Sorry,
yeah.
Again, costumes.
Yeah.
And then Webster, the only reasonable one, goes, wait. If someone was moving the glass, can they just say now?
Yeah, exactly.
So we can put this to bed.
Yeah.
And he's like, no one says anything. He's like, well, fuck it, we got it on tape. The camera doesn't lie.
Yeah. And there's a bit of exposition from Lucy who still says, well, the thing about your gin is, it can't be free until everyone's gone. Your average gin. So anyone that summoned it must die, which is why we get all die. So we're not going to be safe. And
I think whilst this is going on, Liam buggers off in the mystery machine.
That's it. Yeah, I couldn't read my note. It says mystery machine. That's it. And he's looking a bit pensive and a bit worked up over it all. And
there's a note there's a little sign in the front of the van. I couldn't read out what it said. I couldn't understand what it said. I think it says hippies use deodorant.
Right.
I don't know, but I tried to find out. But then this rose the question to whose van it is, because Joe's driving it. Is he stealing the van? Is it Becca's van? Is it? I don't know. It's the communal van.
I feel like it's Liam's van because he uses it predominantly through the film. So I don't know.
I suppose so. But he's like the least hippie one out. I don't know. He's the one that'd have a job in middle management out of all of them.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be Spencer's van realistically, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Spencer's or yes.
Yeah, you would think that's where he lived.
Yeah, Spenny's van.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it kind of cuts back to them watching the tape, and it's the clip of Liam freaking out.
It's him throwing the glass and then walking out.
Now it's Stella's time to do some acting, and she throws her hands up in the air in a dramatic way, and then dashes back off to get a hug from Rob.
Yeah, but then the lights blow.
The lights blow.
And there's a weird bit of exposition there that we've got to go into his flat because that's where the fuse box is.
Yeah, Webster's like, they blow all the time. We'll go down to Becca's flat because that's where the fuse box is.
That's it. So we're going to go knock on his door and get him to do it. So who's it? It's him and Spencer that go down, and there's no answer, and it's a bit of a come on, could you just one more? Hello. It's a bit of a feeble. But
it's like he keeps really weird hours.
Yeah, which again more of a there's a perfect excuse to go in then, isn't there?
But they've also taken the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna beat the fuse box into working.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to make a request, could you turn the thing on, Mr. Becker? It was a weird choice. But they've got that and a torch, obviously, because the torch makes sense.
The torch does make sense.
But I think Spencer basically goes, "Oh yeah, there's a window here, look."
Yeah, little hatch is open.
That's it, and he's like, I would go in myself, but I've got two priors, you know." So he's like, "Come on, Webby,
you go and do some breaking and entering.
You go and do that." And he sort of scrambles through and sort of stands up and starts exploring, but immediately drops the fucking baseball bat.
No, I think he throws it in after him because Spencer's got the baseball bat, and he climbs through the window to the floor. And he's like, okay, we're being all stealthy here. And then he just throws it through. And you get a shot of him outside like... Oh,
right. Okay, that makes more sense. But I was like, that is the baseball bat's only use in the film. I don't think it gets swung at any point. it is there to be knocked over.
It's the
tangle,
yeah.
tankle, or whatever you want to call it.
Much like the bicycle.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Yeah. And then we.
Well, we get a cut back to them in the living room, and they're all sat around with candles and playing with matches.
The gang
it's
sitting about. Yes. Yeah,
someone's playing with fire.
That's it. You've got Webster exploring Becca's house with his torch.
See some Christmas decorations.
That's it.
Some nice bit of tinsel.
Yeah.
Cans of John Smith's.
Yes,
Noticed them, a few tinnies.
Yeah, and there's some stock creepy sounds that have no explanation in nature, if that makes sense. You know, just like your doodle-doom.
Oh yeah.
Kind of shit. That's the soundtrack. You know, that's the
the sort of thing it's put there to make you not concentrate on the background ambience.
Exactly,
It's there to make you on high alert.
That's it. And he sort of he makes his way into a room and there's a cage of white mice.
There's
rats,
some rats squeaking.
Yeah.
But then that's when Spence pops up.
Yeah.
So I couldn't resist some breaking and entering.
I love that line. Yeah. He was a tiny little jump scare for us there, kind of thing. And then they keep exploring, and we see they open a door to a room, and the door, or the wall next to it, I can't remember which one it is clearly covered in satanic symbols and symbology.
That's right. But he's pointing the torch, and it only goes onto one picture, which is of like a burnt face or something.
Yes.
But then they hear Becca's keys, and he's coming back.
That's it. We hear the chain and the key chain and the footsteps coming down.
And they're like, bollocks. So they scarper under the desk and shut the door ever so quietly.
Yeah, ever so gently.
And it's a nice little bit of tension because we hear this footsteps coming and they're like huddled up looking.
Yeah.
There's some nice kind of close-up shots of them looking increasingly tense.
Yeah.
And we just see their perspective from under the desk, Becca's feet come in.
Yeah.
I mean, he tries a light first and it doesn't work.
I think the fuse is there, isn't it? So
it's in the room they're in.
And he just goes up and flicks the switch and sort of, that's it. And then walks to go out, and then does the
classic,
the cliche, just the feet stop, turn and point towards their location, and then
carry on.
And then pause for a beat, so we've got some tension, and then
he knows, but he's not doing anything about it.
Buggers off. And the classic, also for me, the door to their room shuts, and then not even a tenth of a second later,
they're out.
The other door shuts. So he's fucking legged it from one door to, because it's like clack clack.
And why did he even come back? He was just
to do the fuses.
Well, he didn't know they were gone because he wasn't there. So he was like, I better go home and check my lights are working. I'll be back in a minute, Billy.
Yeah.
Get me an half.
Get me an half.
But yeah, so they come out instantly.
Yeah.
And Webster, Joe's like, no, don't turn the light on. Webster turns it on.
Yeah.
And then, it's not Joe, is it Spencer?
Spencer.
Yeah, so then I think that's when do we see the big wall of death at that point?
Yes, yeah.
Or is it just Spencer going, you got to come and see this?
No, we've got the wall, which is your, let's say, serial killer board of thousands of pictures linked with string and various coroner's reports and all that sort of shit.
Newspaper clippings.
That's it,
But yeah, that's when and then Spencer goes and rallies everyone back up to back to Becca's.
That's it. He legs it up to them and just says, "You got to come down and see this shit."
Where are we now?
Well, then we get a cut.
Oh yeah, so the first thing we see with them all standing around is that she's like, "Oh, look, it's that word again, gin."
Yeah.
And it's like it's just gin written in English, and then loads of I think it's like Arabic or something below it.
That's it. And what you see is there's some pictures of, again, it's basically Morocco, the injuries that those people had, and then you see a report or something that has Becca's name in it, and links him to it, and they're like, "Oh my god, it was him. He was there. He could." They start putting their own twos and twos.
Sleep.
Paul Brennan accused of multiple murder.
Then Rob notices it's a picture of Liam.
Yeah.
As a child, he's like, "Oh, it's Liam. It's Liam and his parents."
Yeah.
And it says Paul Brennan accused of multiple murder. Did you notice the picture? One of the dead people is a spitting image of Freddie Mercury.
Oh, really?
He's got a big handlebar mustache.
Oh, I did not see that.
I might clip that in.
Damn.
I probably won't, but yeah, that's if you ever watch it again, just watch that bit.
Possibly then.
But then it cuts to Liam driving, because we know now that he was involved somehow with Morocco, or his parents are somehow involved with the occult.
Yeah.
But he's driving in the mystery machine and he sees a bright light from an oncoming car.
Yeah.
And he gets another flashback, this time a little bit more exposition to what happened, and he sees it's the ritual, and the woman crashes through the front of a glass door and gets pulled back in.
Mm-hmm. And he almost crashes the van, but maintains control, pulls himself together, and doesn't crash.
It's back in the room again, and it says it's a newspaper clipping which says multiple murders in Morocco, demon worshipper charged.
That's I think it's Joe, isn't it? Joe's kind of assaulting him at this point, and he's like, "You should see what's down there. It's a fucking shrine to what your dad did."
Oh no, that's a bit later, I think. Oh no, yeah. First of all, Lucy says, call the police."
Right.
Because Liam comes back and he notices that all the bobbies are outside. Outside the big manor. But then it cuts to the college refectory. Because he's always been driving around all night and they've called the police on Becca. And then Liam finally turns back. It's only a short scene, but he sees like there's 3 policemen stood outside the house.
Yeah.
Because when he walks back and he goes, what do the police want with Becca? Because they're all meeting up in the college canteen.
Okay, yeah. So it's there that they.
This is where Joe gives him the. Not very nice to him. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's kind of having a bit of a go at him. But I forgot that was a change of scene there. But I really like that in the fact that they've kind of, obviously they're not allowed to be at home because the police are all over it, but it's kind of the only circumstance into which these kids will willingly go to college is when they're being hunted and they've got nothing left. Otherwise, fuck college. So I quite like that scene.
And you shouldn't. Was it only the night before that they went out as well?
It was, yeah, on a school night.
Should not be going out on a school night.
Exactly, unless it's weekend college.
Who knows? But yeah, so. I think it's Rob then starts having a go at him saying, Becca knew about your parents. And he's like, well, my parents died in the car crash.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't understand why you didn't tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't believe him.
You know what, mate, why couldn't you tell me? Kind of thing. And then, basically Joe's on the bandwagon with Rob sort of thing, saying, your dad's still alive. And he's like, no, he's not. He's in, my dad's dead. And he goes, no, he's not. He's in the, it's in the nut house. And
I think he just, Rob gives Liam a newspaper clipping, and then that's when Joe explains what they found. Basically, that
that's it.
Demon worshippers went in, and only 2 came out. One of them was Becca, and one of them was your dad.
That's it. Yeah.
And never guess what? He said it was a Ouija board went wrong, and he flipped out, and he pleaded insanity.
Yeah. That's it. And it's at this point that Joe upsets him because he says, "Your dad's in the nut house."
Yeah.
So Liam gets quite upset and just goes, "It's a lie!
It's a fucking lie!
My father's dead!" And he's off.
And he does his signature move and runs away. Yeah. There's not many scenes with Liam in where he doesn't end up just running out of the room,
or that he's just driving around in the van run away.
But yeah, I think Joe says he says, "Oh, I know he's your friend and everything, but I don't believe him."
That's it. Yeah.
And then Stella's upset.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going home, and they're all like, "All right, well, we'll see you in a bit." She's like, "No, I'm going home. I'm going to my mum's. I'm going home."
Leaving this place.
I can't take this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, because he said, we can't go back until the police have found Becca.
That's it, yeah.
She's like, no, I don't mean that house. I'm going back to my mum's house.
Mm-hmm.
We see Liam leaving, and he has a little bit of a lean on a locker, and decides he's gonna read the newspaper article that Rob's given him.
Yeah.
But before Stella goes back to her mum's, she's off to the bogs for a cheeky smoke.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a quick swag.
She has quite a big bifter, doesn't she?
Well, actually, yes, yeah. It's not a cigarette, is it? But she's because obviously that's the most inconspicuous place to do it, in a public bathroom.
You could go outside.
Yeah, exactly. Get to the bus stop.
Go anywhere else but into a public toilet.
Don't incriminate yourself in your college. But she's doing that, and she's kind of having a mini kind of emotional. And then there's a startling noise.
Well, she hears someone come in, which isn't a thing you wouldn't expect in a public toilet.
Is it just a door?
It's just a door going,
right,
and she's like, oh, and then she's like, hello, but then the lights flicker.
Yeah.
Then she starts freaking out and banging on the wall and going, hello. And
I like it because she's doing it with a lighter, like, hello.
Yeah. Her lighter there is a fish.
I expected that to sound way more brick than it did. Yeah, a bit more like that.
Maybe, yeah.
It's almost like she's in prison or something, like tapping on the pipes, like dun dun dun.
Yeah, she's trying to tap a little hole through the wall.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this little bit because she's like panicking, waiting for a response, and then we just get a clip of it's just a black girl on the toilet.
Yeah.
She's like, "What do you want?"
Yeah. What do you want?
And she's got headphones on, that's why she couldn't hear her. And she's like, "Oh, it's alright. I just thought I smelled something burning." And he's like, "I think it's your joint, lav."
Yeah.
And she's like, gets back to crapping.
I did like that.
But then she comes out and she goes to wash her hands and face. But then she flicks the water at the mirror, and I do that sometimes. Yeah. Just like a weird habit.
Flair. Fuck you, man.
Yeah, I'm like, that's me.
No, I don't tend to do
Not all the time, but
well, no,
now and again.
But after assaulting the mirror, she starts walking out, and then you hear another very loud click, which is one of the cubicles spinning the vacant sign and opening, and it does the obvious thing of just sort of going...
Starts to open by itself.
So she backs away from this because she's understandably kind of wary and a bit freaked out. And I quite liked it because as she's backing away, another one really quickly opens and goes...
and snatches her in. And then she does the shifty foot dance.
Yeah, clackety clackety clack.
It's like a tap dance by bound feet, and we see blood coming down and a bit of screaming.
Yeah.
And that goes on quite a bit until she can tap dance no longer.
That's it, because we see quite a bit of blood on the feet.
A bit of blood on the feet.
Like that. And clearly that she's being kind of picked up because her feet are, sliding around. She can't be standing. She's on
she must be, like
something's kind of pulling
her
her
noosed from somewhere, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
But then obviously the girl in the stall next door hears this, goes to investigate.
Doesn't wash her hands.
Does not wash her hands. Dirty. Did she even wipe? I don't know.
No,
but yeah, she pushes the cubicle open, sees Stella slumped by the toilet with a burnt neck, and proceeds to scream.
A big old
ah! Look at my oddly straightened fringe. Ah!
And then cut
back to the boat.
House sport.
Spencer's outside chainsawing some wood.
Yeah, because...
So is it winter? I don't know.
I don't think it's winter, but I think as I've explained a little bit, she's not collected to the electrics.
But she's got the gas.
She's got some gas, but she probably uses a wood burner for eating.
Or
propulsion, I don't know.
But it's not to hot, is it? Because I don't know.
It gets cool by the water's edge of a night, Thomas.
I guess it would do, yeah.
Yes, it
You are right there, Dan. Thank you for correcting me.
It's not a problem.
Then you're by the water.
No, I don't know how we got onto them. But yeah, she reads the pop-up book of satanic rituals.
Well, she goes to lie down to read the book, and then the chainsawing stops, and she's like, "Oh, thank God for that! I thought you'd never stop."
Yeah.
But then no reply. Because it's not Spencer, Dan. It's not Spencer.
I know.
It's old man Becker. It's creepy old man Bex. Shouldn't he be in prison?
Damn meddling kids.
But she's like, "What are you doing here?" It's like, "You got no idea what you're dealing with here."
Aye.
But I can make it go away. You have to do a banishing. And my impression is more spot on than it should be.
It probably actually is, yeah. If one of you will be possessed, maybe even you. She's not. I know what I'm doing. I've done it 100 times. She says. Yeah.
He's like, you don't, because Liam was there.
That's it. I didn't do anything different.
That's
all
it,
you did.
Liam was there. She's like, get out of this place.
Get out!
Get out!
Get out!
Then he just goes, "You're dead."
Yeah.
You're all dead.
You're all dead.
And it's like, okay, because it's a cartoon now.
Yeah, and she shoots him some stink eye there.
She does.
She's like, "Tell me something I don't already know." The evil post-its told us.
The evil post-its told us so. Say your prayers. Then
You need to stop referencing Acast.
I know.
Because nobody else gets that, and even if they do, they probably don't like him that much.
Probably not. But
unless it's James Acast.
Hello, James.
He's probably thrilled. Or nonplussed.
Anyway. Maybe he's sat with Melanie Gutteridge. Anyway, cut to Penn Hill Psychiatric Prison.
Nut House. Yeah. There's a little bit of a thing where Liam's trying to obviously get in to see his dad. And
I don't know. Now, how does he know where his dad is? I guess on the newspaper clip it must have said he was committed to that penitentiary.
Yeah. Phone book, I don't know. Under J.R. Hartley, he found him.
Oh, God.
Have you got fly fishing? But yeah, he's trying to get in, and there's a little bit of a thing there where the I don't know what you call him, receptionist, the manager, the manager warden of the Nut House says, "Well, he hasn't accepted a visitor in 10 years."
He's like, "Even if I did give you permission, in all my years here, he hasn't accepted anyone."
Yeah,
and he'd need to give consent.
That's it.
And then Liam just writes down we know what he's going to write. He gets a pen and paper. He's like, "May I have your pen?"
Yeah,
and he writes down something and he goes, "Just give this to him. See what he says."
But I thought it was just going to be, "Hi, Dad."
Hi, Dad. It's me.
It's me, your fan. And then we get...
It cuts to him walking down the hallway, so we know whatever he's written down has gained him admission to see Papa.
That's it. And there's a cut where he's basically in this little meeting room, but he's sort of looking in the mirror and he's kind of staring at himself in the mirror and doing a bit of an internalised assessment, I think, or something. Because we get a bit of a jump scare where he kind of looks in his peripherals and sees his dad behind him sat in the chair, He's already there, and we've got the kind of standard. I want to do this one day. The glass window with the two phones either side, prison style kind of shit. I'd like to have a conversation like that, and I don't know why. It's just kind of I want to. I don't necessarily. Maybe I'll be the visitor.
It's kind of like it's a bit. Sometimes if you go to the bank and the teller is behind the glass, but your conversation is done digitally. It's weird.
Yeah,
because it's kind of like. And it's like, oh, there you go. And you hear them slide it, but the sound effects come through digitally because it's all mono. It's really weird.
It's odd.
Yeah.
But it's one of those deals, which I quite like.
And at first, when Liam turns around and you see a picture of his the picture, see his dad sat there, I thought it was Jason Isaacs.
Oh yeah, no, it did. It actually looked a bit like Percy, didn't it?
He thought Percy's a sledge.
Yeah. So that got me for about a second as well, to be honest.
Yeah, he has a bit of a cautious look at him, and then he kind of gathers himself and walks over and sits down. And he does a good job of looking apprehensive about picking up the phone and talking to him. He notices that his dad's got a burn mark on his neck.
Yes, yeah, you can see that links in some credence to what everybody's been saying about him. And I quite like that at this point because obviously they've got the glass in front of him, and he just sort of holds up the note like, and it's got gin written on it.
Like, is this some sort of joke?
Yeah. What the fuck is this?
He's like, no. He's like, well, why did you write it? He's like, because I knew it would get me in to see you.
Got me in, didn't it?
And he's like, why didn't you come and see me earlier? And I think he says, oh, I thought you were dead. He's like, oh, so that's what they told you. I suppose this is a sort of death.
And he just kind of goes, you killed Mum.
Yeah, he's like, small price to pay for what you did. You killed my mother.
That's it. And then he says,
you're wrong.
Well, yeah, but he's like, I was there, wasn't I? And he's like, you were a child, though, and you don't remember. You don't remember. You don't know anything.
I've been having reminders. He's Scottish.
Oh, yeah. I kind of like the way he said that, though. I've been having reminders.
Is this some kind of joke?
No.
Then why did you write it? I knew it would get me in to see you.
Why didn't you come sooner?
I thought you were dead. Is that what they told you?
I suppose this is a sort of death.
Small price to pay for what you did.
But yeah, he says, you don't know the facts, you haven't got a clue what was going on.
He's insistent at this point, Liam, that his dad killed his mother. He's like, I just want you to tell me why you did it. Yeah. And he's like, I did what I had to do. So it was you and there was no gin, he says. He's like, oh, believe me, it was there.
Yeah.
What about this time then? What about Annie? I think this is the first time we hear Annie's name.
That's it. And you get a bit of a flashback there as well. Because what we see is, when he's saying, I was there and that, you see a guy tied to a chair. And you see, see Paul, his dad, basically with a Molotov.
He's frozen Molotov, But yeah, he says about Annie. He says, "Is that something else you just had to do?" And he's like, "What have you done?"
Yes, yeah.
He's like, "You know what's going on?"
He realised what he means by this time, and he starts saying, "Well, what? It was Becca, wasn't it? You've been controlling him. You've had him watching me. You've made him start killing us and stuff." And he's like, "No, you don't understand.
He was there to look over you.
He was there protecting you."
Yeah. But yeah, I think he kind of says as well, "Oh, you've called it, haven't you?" So his dad clocked on that the gin's back about.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously Liam's kind of very upset and basically storms out.
Well, he does his signature move. He runs out of the room.
Yeah,
he's like, "Stop playing games!" And he runs off.
Runs away from it.
Runs away. But for some reason, the guard starts tackling his dad like he's trying to wrestle him. Like, he's just on the phone, like talking normally.
Yeah, exactly. Stop touching. But then we get a cut from them to Joe.
No, it's Webster.
Yeah, well, it's all of them. It's Joe and Webster.
Well, that's two of them.
With
it's Joe and Webster, and Webster's wearing an amazing cagoule.
Yeah,
like a kind of poncho coat, and they're. You see the police car that's outside the house, and they want to get back in, obviously.
Yeah.
So they skulk around to the back, and Joe gives them a footsie over the fence.
That's it.
But again, we get this pretty poor shot, I'll say, of someone walking past the camera, and it makes the sound to make us jump that Joe shits his pants out. It's like, well, he didn't play that sound effect out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's freaked out, and he kind of goes in after him.
He legs it over there. But yeah, they're going back to the flat because Webster wants to see what's on the tape.
Yeah, they're going back to get the tape because they didn't have a chance before because the power cut out just before they went to do it.
That's it. But they're going to sneak in because there's a copper in a car outside staking it out.
He's waiting for Webster, isn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, not Webster, sorry, Becker. Wait, Becker.
So they sort of sneak in again, probably through a window again. And I think it might be Webster's bedroom or whatever they get to where the camera is. And at this point, Joe's like,
I think just take it.
Yeah.
And let's just go. He's like, no, I want to see what happened now.
That's it. I want to watch it now. So he's like, oh, fuck. So I think, first of all, he's like, it's getting really warm in here.
Yeah, he takes off his jacket. He's like, it's hot in here. She's like, woo.
Yeah. And then he says, have you got a lighter or anything?
Yeah, he goes to have a cigarette.
Yeah.
He's like, no, try the kitchen. But we do get a shot of the computer screen. This is where I will always pick up. He's using WinTV32 on Windows 98.
Ah, nice.
So Joe goes down to the kitchen.
Lighter,
But I quite like this because he looks in places where lighters probably would be. He's like, there's a big bowl on top of the fridge. And you're like, you probably would keep a lighter in there, like a kind of trinket bowl. And like he's looking around whilst you get these reaction shots from Webster. He kind of sees Annie sit down at the table.
You see a bit of movement, yeah.
So
because what you actually see Annie fall over because there's like a little bit of like a shadow that starts.
Yeah, you do see the shadow.
I think that was her falling over in the background. And then there's another shot of Joe.
It would be great if he just went.
Yeah, exactly. And but obviously he can't. It's too soon.
Too soon.
Then more shots of Joe investigating and stuff, and then we see Annie on the video at the phase where she'd sat down, taken her inhaler, and was sort of looking herself.
And I think you do see a slight shadow move in the corner at that point as well. But then Joe's back in the kitchen and he notices a bottle.
Right, and what is this weird spunky bottle?
And he does look like a big used Johnny, doesn't it?
I was like, what the hell is this thing? And at that point, whilst he's kind of like, I don't know whether he's using the lighter or something, he sort of goes like...
He gets a teaspoon and he like pokes it into it and pulls it. So we know it's freshly melted.
Yeah, some weird shit. And then we see a reaction then of Webster, who clearly sees something. It's kind of like, oh my God.
He's very wide-eyed and clearly shitting his knickers.
Yeah. And then at that point we see again another quick Joe downstairs. He gets scared by something, some random noise.
I think no, it's the same shot again. I think something walks past the door.
Ah, right, okay, yeah. Same thing, movement scare. And at this point we get another shot of Webster, and he's like, oh fuck! So he knows something. He's just worked something crucial.
He's worked it out, and he calls for Joe.
That's it.
And Joe ain't responding.
So he ventures out, and we get a lot of tense, violin-y kind of stringy kind of thing.
It's brooding atmosphere.
Yeah.
And he hats off to Lucas House. He does look very scared.
Yeah, no,
he's very good. He's very wide-eyed. He's kind of hesitantly making his way down the stairs, and he can't find Joe.
That's it.
And he burns his hand on the banister.
He does. The banister's hot. And this makes him worried, so he says, Joe, say something. I think that's going to help. And there's lots of then first-person shots of him going down the stairs and, the wobbly camera kind of thing.
He passes the bike at the on the ground floor.
That's it. Lovely bike.
And he goes to the kitchen where he pretty much sent Joe. But he notices the floor's wet.
That's it. And I was like, ooh, is it more of this weird
ectoplasmic gunk? But he does the whole thing of you got to not put just a dab of finger and you got to kind of rub your whole hand in it.
That's it.
Because it's really good for the camera.
Yeah.
And then he switches the light on and it's blood.
Yeah, blood.
And it's quite gory and realistic looking.
So that's sort of pouring out from under the kitchen door.
And he freaks out and slips around on it like a freshly born deer.
Yeah.
And oh no, he falls over the bike. Oh. It's come into play.
You knew it was going to be crucial.
Then he stands up and immediately goes for the front door.
Yeah.
But it's locked.
It is.
He checks his pockets, but he doesn't have his keys.
Damn.
Like, I put them down, didn't I? So he goes back up the stairs, and I think at this point, is he turning on the lights?
He is, and I quite like this because
it's a good
shows
bit.
A bit of intelligence in a way. So he turns on, what is it? It's going to be at least 3 floors. So he turns on the light on every landing as he's going up to the top floor.
To try and get the policeman's attention from outside.
It. And we can see that shot is the policeman, but obviously he's not paying any attention.
He's reading a book.
Because that would be in his rear view. So we get shots of that and the general idea that Webster had there. So he runs in and gets in. I think he gets straight under the bed, doesn't he?
No. It's I like this bit because he goes to get his keys, but he knocks them off the desk. He's got to go under the desk to get them.
Oh fuck!
I don't know if he planned to do that, but then I think he hears like a bang downstairs, and we see another outside shot of all the lights turning off. one by one, going back up the stairs. And as the last one goes off, the policeman looks at the house like, fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's standard.
And that's when he goes under the bed.
That's it. And then we get what I always think is an uneasy shot for me, because I always picture things much worse. So you get the shot of him under the bed, and obviously the door very slowly opens. Now for me, I always know it's either going to be a foot or something somewhere else completely in frame.
Yep.
But my biggest fear, and I don't know why it is always a face. For some reason, if you know, like, it's kind of like the guy already knows you're under the fucking bed. So instead of walking in and doing the whole, you see the face appear from over the bed, if he just comes in like a
face is always scary.
That would be way scary if the face emerged, and I was like, oh fuck, this could potentially actually freak me out. But they do the similar thing to that, is that the door opens and there's no movement, and then from out of fucking nowhere, Joe arrives.
Joe's body,
boomf, on the
looking
floor.
straight at him.
Yeah.
And he's shitting his pants under the bed.
Oh god, you would be though, because it's always it's never like his feet fell and it's his feet that are there. It's face to face, eye to eye,
burnt neck.
Yeah, clearly lifeless, but not so clearly, because I noticed
he was breathing quite easy. Yeah, it's like he could have held your breath for the. It's only like a 2-5 second.
Yeah. I breathe. Okay.
Unless it was meant to be blood. No.
No.
He was breathing
just a little bit.
Wasn't made for DVD. This film.
No, he did his best. Just wasn't good enough.
And I think he hears whoever leave.
That's it. The door shuts, and then we hear the footsteps back away, and then again just sort of pitter out to the distance. And I'm sure we hear a door slam.
Oh yeah, I think he knows. Well, he assumes that it's gone, whatever it is.
But we hear a door in the distance.
Yeah, he's got the courage to come out now. Yeah. And he's making his way down the stairs. Again, looking even more intense, but he steps on a light bulb.
Fucking douchebag.
He's like, oh shit! So he just hightails it to the front door.
Yeah.
And see, there was a bit before this where he was under the bed, and he looked like he had pushed all the keys he needed between his fingers, and I thought that's clever if he's done that, but I don't think he did that on purpose.
No, that's what we all do when you're walking home alone.
Yeah, that is true.
You've got nothing else. I'll just put the door keys between my fingers like it's going to make a difference.
So I already know. But yeah, he's scrambling around trying to get the keys in the doors, and we get the demon's eye view.
That's it. The Evil Dead camera comes following him down the stairs.
It's bolting in. I think he gets one lock open, and then maybe gets a second one in, and blam, smash up the glass,
crush.
I think this is the first person we actually see get killed. Like, well, he's from the opposite side of the glass. Obviously, we can't see anyone get killed because we can't see who it is.
Well, technically,
and that is a flaw.
Apart from obviously, we see Annie hit the deck rather spectacularly in the start. But yeah, it's one of the first.
It's a shot from the other side of the stained glass window, and it's just his head that gets pushed against it, and a bit of blood trickles down.
Yeah.
But then we get a close-up shot of a temperature gauge, and it says it's 40.
A barometer.
It's a barometer, thank you, and it's 44 degrees. Shot close up of, what was it called again?
The barometer.
The barometer, which is 44 degrees. And I assumed at this point that it was in the house, but no, it's in fact on the houseboat.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut back to Lucy, and she hears some more clackering.
Yeah.
And in comes Spence.
Yes.
But then unexpectedly, Rob behind her,
Rob is
sporting a big brown hoodie. Which we'll get onto later.
Okay.
But I think she asks if they've seen Liam.
Yes.
And he's like, no. But they're both a bit upset, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because they found out that Stella.
That's it. She knows something's up, and she says, "What is it?"
And he's like, "Oh, it's Stella."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, she's dead, isn't she?" And he's just like, "Yeah, she's gone."
And she's not having it. What the fuck is going on? And Spencer freaks out as well, and he keeps going, "This is fucked. This is all fucked. It's fucked."
And they kind of look at him as if they're accusing him. He's like, "What are you looking at me like that for?"
Yeah.
And I think Rob goes, "Lucy, what are we gonna do?" He's like, "A banishing.
We need to do a banishing.
We can send it back."
Yeah.
Then she says, "I didn't pick up on this the first time round. Where's Webster and Joe?"
Mm-hmm.
And Rob says, "Oh, they went to get the video."
Yeah.
So he knew where they went.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's cut back to Liam in the mystery machine.
Yes. Yeah. Or she says we all need to stick together, and we're going to go back to us three stick together. You know, we can't be affording to split up at a time.
Yeah, we shouldn't have all split up.
Yeah.
Does she say at this point we need to go back to where it all started?
Yeah. Well, Liam arrives at the barge at that point, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I think have they left a note for him?
Yeah, that says we've gone to club.
Gone to club, son. Meet us there. Don't forget I've put my knife in the toolbox, because then he takes it out the toolbox.
Yep.
But yeah, then we get it's all them. They're back in the loft. And they've got that. I mean, presumably it's shut in the day, so
yeah. I don't know how they've got unlimited access to this place.
I mean, it's
especially after the police have been in.
It's a crime. I mean, it's only 2 days ago. Yeah, so that's we'll breeze over that one.
Yeah.
But she says, exactly the same has to be where everything was.
Yeah.
And I think so they kind of prop back up the old. I don't know what it was that they were using as a table, like a crate, I suppose. But the glass is gone. But I think she's got a wooden Ouija board now. She's got a proper Ouija board. I don't know if it's hers or is it meant to be Becca's, because he had one as well.
They could have stolen it from there, I guess. I guess it's not too important, but we're led to believe it's either hers or she's picked it up somewhere for the express purposes of.
Yeah, either way. But then she's got the proper wooden. It's not a shot glass now. It's the proper wooden cursor.
Yeah.
And they all put their finger on.
That's it. And they re-Ouija.
But this is where she gets out her secret book of her secret devil incantations in her Ladybird Book of Witches.
There we go.
That's the quote from Bottom.
And yeah, they're going to banish it, aren't they? They're going to try and summon it.
Do the big banishing massive.
And there's this whole mantra of bloody hell. What is it? We summon the dark.
We welcome the light
to banish the dark. We summon the dark to become the light.
That's it. And it's a bit embarrassing when she says it, because it's a bit. I don't know. She doesn't deliver her lines very convincingly. I'd say
it's a bit monotone, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, things like that are always going to be scripted and shitty, but I mean, obviously, we're not going to get at this point her speaking Kandarian, Klaatu Beratanik. It's not going to happen. So, just the phrase "we summon the light, summon the dark," it just sounds a bit shitty.
You need that whole big book to remember that as well.
Yeah,
and that's a banishing, is it? Just that?
Yeah, we'll say that. And then we've got some shots of Liam fucking legging it, driving fast.
He's stuck in traffic.
That's it. And as we get shots of that, we start to get, we can hear her in the background still harping on, I'm in the dark, and you see the corridor again, the Evil Dead camera fucking snaking down the corridor.
And I think we see like a little spark goes around the cursor that they've got their finger on, and then I think then we just get a big fireball, don't we?
It basically billows out. It erupts from the centre of the cursor, and everyone kind of goes no, and falls back, kind of jobby.
That's just as Liam turns up outside the place. But then Spence falls to the floor and he legs it. Yeah,
and he's got a big sort of sharp bit of glass.
I think this is a continuity error, because he's got a shard of glass, but his hand's already bleeding at this point.
Yeah. But presumably he just picked up that glass too hard.
Maybe.
But also, I think the table was still the glass table, so I think the table sort of, exploded and there's cuts in.
That makes. I wasn't sure whether they just ditched the table and used the wooden.
No, it was the same bit. They just used a new board.
Okay. But yeah, it's just him on his own, and he's running off, and I think he knocks over a pipe.
Yeah, another clang.
I'm going, yeah. But. Yeah, then you get the demon's eye view of it come rushing towards him, I think. And he goes and hides in a cupboard.
Yes, yeah, I've got that.
I mean, you would hide in a cupboard.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be silly not to. And then as we see, it's that kind of, it's more like the American lockers kind of shit. It's the a tin cupboard, if you will, with the slats in it, and you can see a figure, in the distance.
It's like the Flash. It's bolting around real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then eventually. I think it kind of goes to the left, it goes to the right.
Yeah, and it sort of emerges in front.
Yeah, the eyes come up pretty close in front of the.
And it took me a second to register a face.
Yeah, it's it's Rob.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you've got the DVD case, it's that.
Yeah, okay.
It's his eyes like that at the front. It's like, it's clearly him. So there's a spoiler right from the DVD box. But yeah, he kind of looks around, has a bit of a sniff.
Yeah.
And then his eyes change into lizard eyes.
That's it. And they sort of lock on, and you expect he's staring right at Spencer now. But there's a bit of a, the whole fucking velociraptor kind of, and he just fucks off.
But then Spence looks down, and he's gripping the glass.
Yeah.
And his hand's bleeding. So you can assume that he was sniffing for the blood.
Yeah, but it's one of the nicer shots that is just, it shows you that tension, he's gripping it out of fear and he's cutting himself because he's so scared, kind of thing. I mean, if it's bleeding before, it kind of takes that away.
I feel like that they went and reshot that afterwards and forgot about it. Also, he's wearing the same clothes as in the opening scenes.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know whether... Oh, we'll get this scene while we're on location, but they forgot to change everyone's outfit, because I think everyone's dressed, other than Rob, they're all dressed... Anyway, that doesn't matter, that's just me getting on about clothing.
I know, yeah.
I think it's just because I need some new clothes done.
Fair enough. Well, we'll go shopping in a bit.
Okay, we'll go shopping. You want to explain what happens next? He thinks he's got off scot-free, doesn't he?
Yeah, because there's no movement anymore. He can't see Rob in the distance or anything. So it's the standard kind of lean back and a couple of pants, and as he does that, their fucking arms come round and grab him.
Come straight through the wall.
Straight through the wall, straight through the tin fucking cupboard he's in, and start grabbing him and
burning his face,
grabbing his neck and his face and shit like that.
And then they quite nicely throw him forward through the door, and he just slams face down.
It's a proper slam.
That's
it. And then we see a cut then of Liam actually getting through the door or whatever, getting into the club, making it into the club.
Yeah, I think he comes in. But this is meant to be the reveal now of who the demon is.
Yeah.
Because you think it's Liam who picks up Spence's head, and he pans up and, it's Rob.
Yeah.
And it's like, we know this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, dun dun dun, and he spits on him.
Fucking twat. It was a bit weird. But you see the disdain there. He's like, it doesn't matter to him that it's his friend he's just killed or anything. He's,
he's a demon.
He's a demon.
But we get a quick shot of Becca bursting with a can of petrol.
He arrives, that's it. And Liam finds the Ouija. He runs into the main room and he finds the Ouija board all burnt up, and it's like an empty basement though. He can't see anyone, but there's, for some reason, then the sound of birds.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's like birds fluttering, and I'm like, well, what the fuck are the birds? How pigeons get in here now?
But he takes a little sniff of the cursor just to make sure it's a burn marker, not dog mess.
Yes, I guess.
But yeah, he kind of stands around like a plum now. With his torch in the centre of the room and doesn't do anything for quite a while.
Well, that's because of this weird flutter of birds that come out of God knows where. But he starts walking off and he makes some kind of noise because Rob hears him.
I think he's like, come on guys, hey you guys.
Hey you guys, yeah. He hears something, so he kind of like shades off and starts sort of walking up a corridor, presumably towards Liam. And the thing I quite liked there was that he starts rehearsing.
He's practicing his voice.
He's practicing saying, it's him, it's Becca, he's here. And he's like, he's here, it's Becca. So you see him sort of put on this facade of, acting not as Demon Rob, but as normal Rob.
Normal Rob.
And just as he runs in and shouts this line out, we see Becca sort of, I think he pops up some stairs.
He pops out of another door or something, and he's he knocks him out with like a pipe or a lighter thing, and then pours the petrol on him.
Yeah.
But then Liam, who doesn't know what's completely going on, rushes him and knocks him down the stairs, down the stairs.
Exactly, because of Rob's perfect rehearsed line.
Yeah.
He set that up, so he tackles him downstairs, and we see a bit of bump.
He's lying at the bottom unconscious.
That's it.
But he goes to check on Rob to make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
And he is. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Then he goes,
and Rob acts up a little bit here. I've got as well. He's a bit like,
petrol.
Yeah, exactly. So then he goes, right, fuck, wait, let's check on Becca again. And
in true Halloween fashion,
he's gone.
He's gone.
He's not lying lifeless at the bottom of the stairs anymore.
So I think we get Liam goes after him with like a metal, kind of like a metal bracket, I guess.
I think it's whatever he just hit Rob with, whatever Becca just hit Rob with, he just picked up, and he goes after him.
Yeah. But then he finds him. He's just downstairs. He just tells him, "Go on, listen."
Yeah.
But Liam gives him a twonk on the shoulder.
Yeah, he hits him straight away.
He's like, "That's for Annie."
Yeah. And he starts. Well, he just keeps hitting him then, and at this point, somehow Rob comes down.
Yeah,
and intervenes.
Stops. He's like, "He's not worth it." He's like, "Well, you're a very nice demon today."
Yeah, it seems like a weird thing for him to have done.
Yeah, because then Rob goes over to Becca and he's like, "We'll always have Morocco."
Yeah.
Kind of whispers to him to make sure he's okay, but Becca grabs him by the throat.
That's it, because he goes over and goes, "Oh, he might be dead," to him, and then leans into Becca and says, "We'll always have Morocco, Becca." And then Becca sort of grabs him right by the throat and tries to strangulate him, I guess. But then Rob starts. I don't know what the fuck is.
Stabs him
pointy wood.
Yeah, in the face twice.
Yeah. And then sort of does the whole, "Oh, I was overcome by emotion."
I think we've killed him.
Yeah, and acts perturbed by it, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we've done this."
Yeah, and then they're leaving at this point, and Rob's behind him, but he's kind of giving it the sinister kind of got this look in his eye like...
Exactly. And he even just says, I can't believe we just
did that.
Yeah.
He's gone a bit Clockwork Orange. And he puts his arm on...
Liam's shoulder.
And does a little smirk, because he knows it winds him up. I quite like that. He's like, huh?
Yeah.
That's pissed you off.
That's it. And so he shrugs him off and was like, oh, fuck off.
So it's not like we killed an innocent man, Liam.
Yeah, and then for some reason he changes tone and he says, what was your dad like?
Yeah, because obviously the demon is more interested in Liam's father. I think he says, he was in it with your dad, wasn't he? He's like, yes.
Yeah, he was like, him and Becca.
Like, did you see him? What was he like? He's like, fucking mad.
Yeah, quite like that.
He's like, oh, and he believes in all this. He's like, what, the djinn? He's like, yeah, and Becca as well. He's like, fucking lunatics.
I quite like that. And then here we get a demonstration of Rob's demon powers.
Yes.
Because he just sort of flicks his finger and we hear the sort of jump noise.
Yeah, the scratching noise.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, ugh. So then Liam goes, oh, what was that?
What was what?
What was what? Duh,
and he's like, hang on a minute, where's Lucy?
Yeah. So they're back into what I keep calling the main room where the table and the Ouija board were.
There's also a lift in there now, which I didn't notice before.
Yeah, apparently. Well, they keep using the stairs, don't they?
They do use the stairs a lot. So they're having a look around with torches, even though it's not. For some reason, Liam now has the gas torch.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Lucy brought it.
Yeah.
Rob's got the normal torch, which explodes.
Yeah. Boom goes bang.
And he does a little pretend, oh, I'm scared. He's like, can we just go?
Yeah.
And then just out of curiosity, he goes to call the lift.
Well, I don't even know if he calls it. He just sort of peers through
I
the
think
shutter.
he presses the call button.
Oh, okay.
And then Lucy promptly drops down on a noose.
Yes.
Right in... I mean, that is... To plan that height and to make the... You've got to know the mechanics of a lift.
Well, yeah.
And you've got to take the lift out.
This is true.
And, I mean... Well done. Well done, Jin.
Yeah.
That is a good bit of... And to do it that quick... Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's magical, isn't he?
Yeah, I suppose he is a bit magical.
But either way, Rob sort of... opens the doors and starts pulling her out, and he's like, she might still be alive, and starts trying to take the noose off her neck. And then we get a good shot then of Rob's face just drop and go serious, and he just goes, no,
she isn't. Like, don't you see, Liam? The lunatics were right. They've seen the djinn.
That's it.
And then
it's your turn.
Rob, help me! I think she might still be alive.
No, she isn't. Don't you see, Liam? The lunatics were right. They've seen the djinn.
And now it's your turn, Liam.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer style, his brow changes.
Yeah.
He goes a bit fatter and he gets yellow eyes.
Mm.
And he goes, oh, is it me or has it just got hot in here?
Yeah.
Liam's getting a bit all upset and he goes to give him a big stab with the kitchen knife that he's took from Lucy's boat.
Yeah.
And he stabs him through the hand, but the knife's on fire.
Oh. But he's talking about here at this point, he explains how his dad had been the one that summoned and trapped him in the old days, and how he used it, or is using Rob to get to him, you know.
Yeah.
And how pissed off he is basically about everything. And he says something about being inside Rob. He's like, it's sad. Do you know how much he was thinking about fucking Annie?
Yeah.
And then that sort of leads them to the massive scuffle then, and they struggle.
Well, he gives him a roughing up. Rob gives him a roughing up, and then I think he spits on him and it burns. And he goes, "Do you feel that's not even close to where your daddy sent me?
Yeah.
You opened the door for me to come back, and now I'll show you real pain."
That's it. And he sort of either pushes him back or does something, and Liam gets a flashback. Then
he gets a flashback.
That's it, and sees the possession that was going on in Morocco or whatever. And he can see it's that whoever it is, this guy that's tied to the chair or whatever it is.
He's been covered in the petrol.
That's it, and his eyes are all fucked up and shit like that. So we see him clarifying this, you know, memory that he's tried to push down. And at this point, he
figures out that the Molotov was for the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for the djinn, basically.
That's it. So he basically brandishes the torch that he's got.
Yeah, he gets up. Somehow manages to get up. He scrabbles up, gets the torch. He's like, "What are you going to do, Liam?"
Yeah.
And then he kind of looks down at his hoodie, and then Rob, or the djinn, kind of gives it a feel and a sniff, realises it's petrol, and then the pretending starts again.
Yeah, it's the old, oh, it's me, it's Rob, don't let him do this to me.
You came out of me!
Yeah.
Don't burn me, Liam! I'm a good girl, I am.
It's stupid. And then we see, obviously, Rob sort of giving in, lowering the torch a bit, and being a bit like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Slight look away.
That's it. And Rob takes the chance, and he's on him, and he lunges for him. But just as he does it,
Liam slams it to the ground,
smashes it into his chest, doesn't he? Smashes him back, and he ends up falling. It looks like he ends up falling back down the lift.
Well, first of all, we get what is clearly the stuntman on fire, because he looks like Mike Myers. There's a big bloke in a bowler suit and a big white head. Yeah. He's scrambling around, giving it the whole air traffic controller arms. Yeah. But yeah, and then he kind of runs over and does a slow motion rubbish kick and knocks him down the
down the
shaft.
Yeah. And then doesn't he shut the door?
He goes over to have a look.
Yeah, the old. I wonder if he's gone. Yeah.
And a nice burnt up, gribbly looking Rob grabs his leg. I quite like that. They put a lot of effort into.
I think that's where the budget went.
Yeah.
Because there's even like a bit of skull.
The skull's the best bit.
Yeah.
That's the best bit.
It makes it look shiny. It.
I mean, you only see like from the arm to head, so
yeah.
He's just in like a suit and trousers built beneath that, but
that seems to be the highest budget part of this film.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
But he won't let go. He's like, I'm taking you with me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then Liam just shuts the door on him like, bye bye.
Yeah.
And you just hear him go, ah, boom.
That's it.
And he's like, oh, I've got to make sure. So he opens the door again, and then a big fireball comes out Die Hard style.
That's it. A scene from Backdraft appears.
That's it, yeah.
And sort of knocks him out cold, I think.
Yeah, because he's just lying on the floor at the end, and then it lingers on him for a bit, like, is he dead? Is he okay? But then it cuts to
the asylum.
The asylum again. And we get the shot of the corridor going towards the door.
That's it, and just some shots of Liam's dad.
Liam's dad.
I'll bother calling him Paul Brennan at this point. But we see him sort of sitting in the cell, and we can see that someone's walking down the corridor towards him, and it's Liam, and he goes into his cell.
That's right, and we get a little... you kind of get a shot of his eyes through the peephole. Yeah. And it kind of looks like he's having a conversation with someone on the other side of the door, but he comes in.
Yeah.
And he just sits next to him and takes his hand.
Yeah.
And he goes, what have they done to you? In my best Scottish accent. And he gives him a hug.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, right, okay, so he's finally understood. He understood what his dad went through. He understood that it wasn't going mad and killing his parents. People were possessed and fucking getting killed.
Is his dad off the hook now? Is he off the hook?
It's kind of almost, isn't it? It's like, I understand.
Yeah.
I might not forgive it, but I understand.
He says, I thought I'd lost you forever.
Yeah.
Like your son. Ooh. Oh my goodness me! What a twist of events.
There's a bit of an expression change there.
Yeah, the
at
eyes.
This point, he's kind of hugging him there, head to head, head on shoulders, kind of thing.
In an embrace.
A bit of an embrace.
He says, like your son, and then his eyes change to yellow.
Yeah.
Shit, he's the Jindan.
That's it. I know, it's fucking bad.
And we get some bubbling blood over the hands.
Yeah.
Which look quite gribby.
He's burning the neck again, I guess.
Yeah, he grabs him by the head and he's like, you didn't think you'd get rid of me that easily, did you?
That's it.
And as they pans out of the cell, you realise the guards are dead.
Yeah.
The guards are dead.
That's it. So, what I don't understand is why he didn't... Well, I mean, that's it though, right? Yeah.
Then it ends, yeah.
Then it ends, yeah. But then it pans out and there's a shot of Liam, and then his eyes do the serpentine blink, and then there's a cut to just black for a little tad too long, and then it's credits, and then and it's like, right, okay, cool, okay, we're done here. Because again, it's much like the opening shot. It's the same that all these films kind of do. They give you that pause to be like, is it over? Are we going to try and scare you one more time?
No, we're not. Yeah. No, we had you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so everyone died, basically.
Everyone died.
Everyone involved that had a name died.
Yeah.
Especially Annie.
Yes. She died thoroughly, yeah.
So we'll go for the normal... drink some water first, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll go for the normal post-review, I guess.
Yeah.
Were you entertained? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think I was. Again, I knew exactly what it was going to be. I knew what I'd signed up for it. It wasn't
nothing new.
Yeah, I wasn't. My mind wasn't blown by the creativity of it or anything, but it was enjoyable. It had a few points that could have made it more formulaic, but they didn't. So there was a lot of the old. This is when she first starts when Annie starts leaning over that precipice to find her necklace. It was a very obvious this is how she's going to die. So when they didn't take that route, I went, Okay.
There were a lot of setups that didn't pay off. The camera I mentioned before.
It was a couple of double bluffs, yeah. It was a couple of things that you thought, well, okay, maybe this seems a bit obvious. Oh, right, they didn't do it. Okay. They did something that was still slightly obvious after that, but it did keep enough of attention for me to go, well, not tension so much as interest for me to go, all right, okay, well, okay, let's see what the gang get up to in the Mystery Machine.
Yeah, I feel like if it was an American film, I wouldn't be interested.
It would have been much worse.
And that's not being an English snob. It's just
it's a difference in filmmaking.
It's not the kind of film you get from England, I don't think.
It would have been more people looking out from behind doors and trapped in cupboards and looking through slits.
They would have been in a really big, clean apartment.
Yeah, but again, it would all have been about them hiding under a thing whilst feet walk around and never seeing it until the last minute. You go, oh, it's Rob. Cool, right.
Yeah, I think the one thing that kind of saved it was its down to earthness.
Yeah,
I think its biggest problem. I mean, I think you could probably relate it slightly to The Thing because it is that kind of which one of us is it?
Yeah,
but obviously The Thing is amazingly better.
Yes.
But the one thing The Thing had over it is that when you became The Thing, the other people got to kill you, so you had on-screen deaths. What this suffers from is that it's a mystery till the end, so everyone that dies kind of happens off-screen, so you don't really see anything.
That's it. I mean, again, apart from Annie's death right at the beginning, Webster's, he gets smushed up a thing. You don't see Joe die, but you kind of see his corpse afterwards. Same with Lucy, she just kind of bobs through a thing. I mean, Rob's death, you see, and I think Stella's was probably one of the better ones, because, again, I think they did the right thing with that. It was not showing you the actual thing, but showing you the consequence of it. So you saw her feet being like, you saw it was a bit more Hitchcockian in a way. To a degree, you didn't need to see the monster on screen.
You don't need to. It's more implied violence, but for us, I guess what you would call a slasher flick. Doesn't have much of the slasher about it.
I think it could be budgetary.
Maybe
they didn't get to do what they wanted to do in terms of making it a bit more scary and a bit more haunty. I don't know.
But I mean, like things like Scream, it's a masked killer. A lot of the killers are masked, and this is just who is it. So you kind of shoot yourself in the foot with not being able to show. I don't know if that was purposely done, or not. But I feel like that it kind of missed a step with that. It kind of forced itself to lose a bit of content.
Yeah, I also think the fact that it was a gym was kind of neither here nor there. It didn't really add anything to the story because it's basically a possession. It's a possession film. And I think
I suppose it
rather than just saying it's our ghost, they've decided to try and make it a bit more interesting. Let's make it another entity. Let's make it something a bit more interesting. But they didn't lean on it hard enough. They had the whole thing like, oh, isn't it getting warm in here? Like, okay, that gives us a small indication that something's about to go down.
They just needed something that was like, okay, we need something that physically happens to these people that we can say it's not just a murder.
Yeah.
The burns are easy to do. It's just we got to make a artist who can do burns. What's a fire demon? A djinn. We'll do a djinn.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know, because whether it is just from watching other horror films, but like Wishmaster and stuff like that, I think to call it a djinn makes it look like things are going to be a bit more freaky. Like you're going to see like doors and cupboards opening, or hallucinations or weird things.
Yeah, they really didn't make the most of
what they could have done.
And I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, no,
or something.
Yeah, I wanted to have a bit more of a payoff than, like you say, the Buffy unibrow kind of thing going on. I think for me it would have been nice, and what the cover art suggested a little bit more to me was it might be more in the vein of 13 Ghosts kind of thing, that it might be a little bit more graphic, a little bit more let's say maybe fucking latex facey, who cares, but a little bit more things coming from everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, even if they did it sort of American Werewolf, well, they wouldn't have done it that way, but like if the person manifested into a demon and you saw it sneaking around like Nosferatu,
so you never saw who it was, but you saw the thing.
Yeah. Or maybe even if they just did the old bullshit cliche, oh, it can't be on film, it's just a blur.
Yes, okay.
Just do that.
Which they did, but obviously they made it very obvious that it was a humanoid, it was a person that was moving fast, so there was no horns or things like that. I mean, maybe that would have been good if there were they could have I don't know why I think about this. If they'd alluded to it in a fact where they used something, let's say like a shadow, so that they would have this thing in the background and be like, what the fuck? But what you could piece through would be that Rob was always there and it was always his shadow. You know, like it wasn't another thing in the room. It was the clues were there, but no one put, you know, something like that. It would have been a different film, I guess. But some kind of a narrative or dynamic like that, like you say, like seeing him out of context as the demon, so that you thought it was an entity, not one of them.
Yeah, this kind of film where it's all build up, you need to have a strong payoff, I think. And I don't think the payoff was strong enough. Like I said, I think they blew all that budget on that Gribbly suit.
Yeah,
I think I have a feeling that he was meant to be in a full body one that would have been a longer scene, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, 90 minutes almost to the dot, so maybe they ran out of time. I don't know.
Possibly.
But it could have been like the end of Event Horizon, where he's walking around all burnt up. If you remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he didn't have a strong enough payoff. I quite like the premise, and I liked.
Yeah.
I really liked the setting. I liked how down to earth it was, and I quite like. The cast were okay.
Yeah.
Mostly no names, other than Lucas Haas, I guess, and Joe Absolom.
Yeah.
He's kind of known.
But I don't know. I think something about it that I feel like there's things that they didn't do that they probably could have done that would have made it, let's say, a bit more of a generic film, but might have made it a little bit better. Given the fact that they're doing the whole, we don't know. I mean, they never leaned on that, but which one of us is it?
Yeah,
which is usually what you get. To me, it looked more like it was going to be, them in the house, all hiding from each other, all forming allegiances, and all.
That would have been a much better film.
It would have been
turned into Cluedo.
And I see the Webster character as being, hold up away from all of them. Maybe the tape was injured. There was something wrong with it, and he's fixing it, and he's trying to do that, and then he finally puts two and two together, and then it's a whole, oh my god, and then he can die. I think there's a lot of things that, again, probably are formulaic, but would have made it a better, more cohesive story. It seemed a bit like, let's do a bit here at the club again and go back to the boat then, and
well, thinking about it, there's only about 4 locations in the whole film.
Yeah.
So there's the rooftop, the club, same place.
Yeah.
You got the house, the sailing asylum, and the boat.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it, really.
Morocco.
And Morocco, and now and again inside that car. Yeah. Morocco was filmed in the same place that Loft was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's only a few.
I'm not saying it's the location or the way they did it. What I think I'm trying to say is that I'm kind of glad for the fact that they didn't do that. Even though that I wouldn't have enjoyed that film because I've seen it a million times. I liked this one more for the fact that they did those double bluffs on the scares.
I would like to see more of it.
Yeah,
more of that kind of. Forget normal convention. Let's just do what we want to do.
Yeah, because I think they were kind of there with it. And I think that's what made me enjoy it a lot more than, let's say, a contemporary that would just do that, lock your characters in a house, which one of us it is, and then we're all going to die slowly. That has been done. That is the thing, that has been done to death. But I liked, again, the double bluffs on the scares and the fact that it made itself a little bit more different. It was like, yeah, okay, it's the possession movie, it's the Ouija board ghost thing. But it tried to be a little bit different with the way it did it. Again, you'd expect to see the ghost on the camera or to see something freaky.
Yeah.
And they kind of shied away from all these conventions, but that it probably wasn't the most enjoyable, but it made it more enjoyable to me because of that.
Yeah,
they did it a bit differently.
It's certainly its best aspect is that it just feels a bit more organic.
Yeah.
But I think the problem with it is that it shied away from being a generic slasher movie, but at the same time it had to still follow the formula. It's like, okay, so we're going to go here, this next person's going to die.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it shouldn't have been that kind of movie. I think it set itself up to be a completely different film. It should have been a more of a psychological, again, like the thing, like who about us can we trust, like you say, because there's only one bit where Lucy kind of looks at Spencer like, is it you?
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you looking at me like that for? And it's never referenced again. But I like it. It had a very quick pace to it. It romped along. Like it goes scene to scene to scene to scene to scene. There's nothing in there that you could probably cut out to not be needed.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I'm glad there's not any fluff in there. There's no like boring romance stuff in between. There's a bit on the roof maybe, but
no.
And there's no over development of characters, which I always hate. So I don't want to spend an hour learning a character to just kill her off.
Yeah, exactly. Just push her through a skylight 10 minutes later.
We can learn everything we would know about a character in a lot less time.
Why do the police want Becca? anybody going to tell me what happened?
Fuse went out in the house. I broke into Becker's to turn it back on.
He knows about your parents. My parents?
And again, it wasn't... I think, like you say, you picked up on it in terms of you were quite enthused by the costumes. And I think that's how they did it. You know, they weren't the hardest characters to get to know, because at the end of the day, it was, you know, group of college kids does stupid thing. So you don't need much for that. You don't need to know that, you know, they're doing an MA in social sciences, or that Lucy's scared of sloths. You know, whatever pointless...
Lucy would love a sloth.
Yeah. But whatever kind of pointless backstory fodder that is in there. The only tangible character is Liam. You know, they could have probably done it in a way. If it was American, that's the way they'd have done it. They'd have focused on Liam, and they'd have focused on, he's always had this feeling. He's always felt...
I always knew I was different from other people. And every now and again he'd take out a picture of his dad in his wallet and be like, oh,
I never knew you.
I never knew you.
Yeah. But whenever he did it, it'd go, Riptos.
Dominant.
Yeah. Ooh, Domino's, yeah, I want pizza.
It's too hot for pizza.
Oh, fuck me, it's, yeah.
It is sweltering up in the loft today.
Yeah, I got a proper sweat on, dude.
Yeah, it's a sauna.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously we can't have the windows open, because you'll hear all the birds.
Hear all the birds and the traffic, and we don't want to distract from talking shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think one of my biggest problems with it is all the characters kind of did things that were believable. Yeah. And they had believable thoughts, but everything around them that happened isn't realistic.
Yeah, of course.
So if your friends died, the police would be they'd be held in custody maybe, or
yeah, there'd be lots of questions.
There doesn't seem to be any repercussion for anything happening, and why don't they go, okay, someone else is dead, let's go to the police and wait there so we don't get killed again?
It's another situation where unfortunately horror means that your characters are going to suspend all rational thought throughout the rest of this process. Instead of picking up the gun, they'll get the knife, you know.
Yeah.
They'll run upstairs instead of outside. It's one of those things you could... If you pick it apart, then you've got real life, and it doesn't work like that anyway, because there wouldn't be a gym. So it's kind of like you can't have it all. But in terms of, let's say, some of the dialogue, some of the reactions, some of the things that they do in the film do seem a bit more realistic. You know?
And I like that they put your own little signature on it, like, should I have a canal boat? That's cool. That's a little thing outside the box slightly.
Like, why not? Yeah. I mean, obviously it lends itself to it's basically the rooftop. Roof. Blooming heck. Footsteps on the roof.
Footsteps on the roof.
Footsteps. They can get away with that. I mean, it's kind of like the alternative to having a tent where you see something outside moving and brushing and poking the tent. You know, it's more vulnerable, isn't it? So
it's not secure.
Yeah. But then she could have just floated off and buggered off.
She could have done.
She could have Rosie and Jimmed it.
She could have Rosie and Jimmed it. Quack. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an exciting film. It's not as exciting as it could be. No. I think my favourite scene is probably when Webster's locked in the house. That's my best scene, and where all the lights are turning off and he's turning them on. I think that was the one genuinely tense bit, I think, for me.
Well, as I hear, you've got some questions, haven't you?
Oh well, yeah.
Because I thought that was going to be one of them, your favourite bit, or something.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to. So we've gone past Were You Entertained? So we'll crack on with that one, which was your favourite scene. That was my favourite scene.
Yeah. I mean,
if you liked any of the scenes,
I don't know. Yeah, no, I did. I did like it. I think some things weren't especially memorable, if that makes sense. It sounds a bit harsh, but
some of it's a bit TV, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's so many them creeping downstairs to knock over something to make noise shots.
There was one too many shot of someone walking in front of the camera, someone turning around going, "Oh!"
Yeah,
that happened 6 times maybe.
I'm going to say the opening shot when they're in Morocco, because it filled me with hope and promise.
Okay.
It made me think it was going to be a very, all trinkets and mysticism and things like that. I really enjoyed it, but fuck. I think my favourite scene was the college bit, because when they're actually in college in the canteen. Because it just, for me, it made it funny to me that it would take literally the end of the world to get these kids to go to fucking school.
Yep.
And it's just the part where Liam goes, "It's a lie!" I was like, yeah, okay, fuck it. And he storms out. I think that part and the toilet death scene was my favourite part of the film. Like that,
I did like
that encompassing bit. You know,
I did like the bit with the I think it's your joint love.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The school bit was my favourite bit. But like, okay, then let's narrow it down. So the toilet scene.
The toilet scene was my best death.
Your
favourite was the toilet.
Yes,
that's covered too. So that brings me on to what's your favourite character?
I think the lady in the toilet that tells her to shut up. I actually think her, the one who, legit, the one who goes, I smell something burning. I think that's your spliff, love. Her, she's the most real character in the entire fucking thing.
They should put her in the sequel.
They should, yeah. But I think out of the main body, maybe Spencer, but not. Oh, I don't know. He's a hard one.
Mine's definitely Webster, just because he just tries to piss everyone off.
Yeah.
His little one-liners I really like. Just when he's like, you're freaking the girls out, Rob.
Yeah, that is good. I think I like Spencer for the start of the film, but when he starts being a bit like, oh, I'm just going to go get my gear, I don't care about you.
Yeah, he kind of
lost me there a bit. I was like, oh, he
starts off like a bit of a, kind of like a surfer, kind of extreme games kind of guy, and then turns into a bit of a chav by the end.
Yeah. It was a bit of a weird story arc for him, but I think Girl in the Toilet.
Girl in the Toilet.
Yeah.
Alright, what's your favourite line? I'll do mine first. It's the bit on the houseboat when Spencer confronts that guy, and he's like, he basically just calls her a stupid cow.
Stupid cow, yeah.
I can't remember the exact lines. I was only trying to help you, stupid cow.
That's it, yeah.
And I think it's just because, again, if someone had said prat or twat, that would be my favourite line, because it's so British just to call her a stupid cow, and it just injected a tiny bit of humour that was, I think, maybe needed. That was my favourite line.
That is a good line.
It's one of them things that if I didn't tell you to consider it before you watched the film, that you probably would have picked up on.
Yeah, but it also kind of puts you on the spot right now.
Like,
damn, I wasn't thinking about this coming in. I don't want to just say it. I think it's your spliff lamp.
We can go with it.
Because it kind of is like, right, I didn't like anything but that toilet. I mean, to be honest with you, the dialogue wasn't that memorable.
It was as a whole, the film's a tad bland.
It's not exactly.
It's not
quotable.
It's a solid mediocre flick.
But I'm going to say you're upsetting the girls, Rob. I think that's going to be my favourite line because it legit made me go because it just seemed a bit creepy.
Oh, I forgot when he mentions Mystic Meg.
Mystic Meg.
Okay, we'll go Mystic Meg.
Yeah. Oh no, right, fuck it. I quite like the bit where he says, "Oh, she thought you had a voice like a choir boy." She's like, "Oh, she had a right nice eye." Because I think it is for me those little bits of realism that kind of shone through, made it more watchable.
They can make a movie be so much better.
Oh yeah.
Just coincidental lines, just to build bridges between characters. Who was your least favourite character?
I want to say Joe.
Oh God, yeah.
Because I don't know about the least character. Okay, he's the character I trusted the least. And I was thinking that he was going to have way more involvement with this plot.
You didn't even see his death.
Being that he was you didn't see his death, but being that he was a random friend of Rob's that had just kind of turned up, he was the only unknown variable in it. Maybe it would have been down to his introduction. You know, he's the bad guy. Well, bad guy. He's the bad influence. He's like, let's go do coke off a railway line. Let's do something scary. What's the scary thing? What should we do? Oh yeah, let's Ouija. You know, he seems to be the basis of it all. I didn't know whether there was meant to be a comparison between him and the guy you see in the chair, just because they both got long hair, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't trust him for the minute he turned up. He kind of had a go at Liam when didn't know him.
Yeah, he was just a bit of a prick, but he didn't pay off. As usually that kind of archetype pays off to some effect. But
yeah, exactly.
I think they floated off, didn't they?
Yeah, because I thought that's what they were going to do, is that they were going to build it as being him.
I mean, they could have had a scene where he got really messed up on drugs, and then he's like running around the house all high, and then weird things start happening.
Yeah, I mean,
like he sees the house on fire or something. Yeah, and he thinks he's hallucinating, and he's not. They could have played with that a little bit.
I think they had quite a few open avenues. But out of them all, I quite like Lucy because she was the only one who bothered.
This is worst character.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to process of elimination. I mean, Liam was a bit gay. Rob, you weren't meant to like, so I didn't like him. So that means I like him because he did his job well.
Yes.
So I think out of everyone, it's Joe. Yeah, I think because everyone else I like Becca.
Yeah, Joe's my least favourite character.
Yeah. I
think he's meant to be, but again, I don't like him either way.
No.
And Lucy would be a close second because she annoyed me a little bit.
And I even like Paul Brennan for his brief resemblance to Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, and what's not to like about that?
Exactly. So I'm going with Joe.
Okay. Next question. I think we kind of covered this. How could the film be improved? And I think we kind of covered that in Were You Entertained?
We've got some notes. They can.
I think we can breeze over that one.
This whole podcast is about us telling them how they could have done it better.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not really. I'm not trying to be overcritical. It's just our genuine ideas.
Yeah. Next question is, one thing to consider is, will it stand the test of time? And which, for a film from 2002, has it stood the test of time?
No. It does on a story basis. I mean,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
The idea of a Ouija board and possession is never going to go away to us. It doesn't matter when it's set.
Well, yeah, I mean, a good story should be able to be put in any setting, and it kind of time travels between Morocco and the past, present.
Yeah.
Or the past for us now. So yeah, I think. I mean, could you it's scary to think in 50 years' time, do you think anyone will watch this film and go, where are the cell phones? Mobile phones.
Yeah.
How dare I?
Yeah, but it'll be people like us that are just kind of trawling through old films to see what they're like.
I'll be dead by then.
Well, yeah. People like us, not us. But yeah, no, I think there's still always a market for this kind of thing. Like, cheese, I'm going to call it cheese, is always welcome, because at the end of the day, again, I feel like we're being too harsh on every film that we say these kind of things to, but it's not a bad film. It didn't make me want to pull my fucking hair out and scream and poke my eyes out. It just wasn't, something that made me go, I really like this. I really liked how they did that. It wasn't the most compelling story.
This bleeds into the next question, which is, would you recommend it? And it's weird because at the time you might recommend it, but if you were looking back to recommend a film from that era, there's better ones, because we got a catalogue now, and it reminded me there was a load of films that came out around about the same time. Like, did you ever watch Death Watch?
Yes,
with Jamie Bell.
Yeah.
So then you got things like 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned before, and they all kind of fit into this same early 2000s horror. Everything post Scream.
Yeah. Well, it's again trying to reach the teen audience by having characters around that age, but not making it, too much of a it's obviously meant to be for teens kind of thing.
Yeah. And then you had like all the weird spin-offs. Like, what was the one that set in a? It was a ghost that couldn't go in the sunlight, and in the end he killed it by going into a lighthouse.
The little ghost that couldn't. I think it's called...
You know the one I mean? And it's a guy...
It's a place name, isn't it? Or something?
No.
I know what it is, though. Isn't it the one where she's the tooth fairy?
Something along to that effect. And at the start of it, I think the kid in it, his parents get swiped.
Yeah.
And then it's him growing up, and he's got loads of torches and batches, and he's loading like shotguns.
Because the whole fight takes... Well, the end fight.
Echo Falls?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a place name.
Oh, Echo Falls.
Or a wine. Which is also a good recommendation.
Okay, it might not be Echo Falls. It's Echo something. Either way. But yeah, you had all them kind of films that came out around the same.
Something Falls. Is it Darkness Falls?
Echo Falls. It's because I've got a bottle of wine in the fridge at home that I'm going to smash once I get out of this sauna. I don't drink white wine, but it's cold and it's going in my belly.
Good. But yeah, no, Darkness Falls, that was a good one. And again, another... that is off the beaten track in terms of its concept, because it was meant to be the tooth fairy, because it was the whole thing of like, don't fucking open your eyes if you put the tooth under there, because if you open your eyes she's going to get you, and it was one of the better films for me that did the whole thing of, Mum, I'm too scared to go in the bathroom light's not on, and the whole, don't be silly, and she goes in and she gets fucking murked, and I was like, oh, that's scary.
And there's a really good scene in that where I think he's hiding in the bath with the light on, and it's just on the wall outside going let's not talk about that film. But yeah,
no. Yeah.
There is a slew of horror films that come out, but there's something about a British horror film, and it's because I'm British, that really appeals to me, because I don't think we don't tend to get them very often.
No.
And if we do, they're very like
28 Days Later.
Well, that's the more modern one, but like for back in that era, I think it's more the kind of grown-up men, kind of the Omen style, serious horror film, more psychological maybe horror than actual demons. I can't think. Can you think of another English film with a demon in it?
Another English film with a demon.
Well, you know what I mean. It's nice.
That's more spiritual and less a physical thing. You mean?
Yeah, it's nice to see a film that would predominantly dominate a American market be taken to an English setting. I always like that when they take something out of its homeland and kind of put it where it is, because there's so many American horror films, it's unreal.
Oh, well, there are, but I mean, obviously there are classic English films like Dracula with Christopher Lee and things in them. They're all English.
Hammer.
All the Hammer horrors and things like that. But I mean, things like
Carry On Screaming.
Dog Soldiers.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
another great
maybe
example.
not horror, but it's action horror. I don't know where you want to draw the line. Sean Pertwee fucking up.
One of my favourite films ever, and that fits in with like 28 Days Later, and the others we mentioned. I think this doesn't quite make the bill of my favourite English films. It's one that I'd be like, if you haven't seen it, it might be worth a watch. But
no, I mean, I probably wouldn't lump it in with those. I'd say it was a bit too. It's weird. If you think about films as music, I would put it in the pop category.
Put it on.
It's great for general consumption, but it's not going to hold up. Because then you have got things like American Werewolf in London, things like that. I mean, but what was actually obviously you're saying American Werewolf in London.
Well, yeah, I know.
Things of that time that were sort of based around here or written by people from around here or whatever. And then you've got what's it called, the two guys that go to the church and crawl in the bum hole.
Oh, the Borderlands. That's one of my favourites.
Things like that, and I also see the last Village in England, or the one with the guys from what's his name, Rhys
Darby. Oh, Field in England.
Field in England.
Yeah, that's a real weird one.
Yeah, but I see that as a contemporary-ish English horror in a way because it's okay. We'll go under its historical.
It's not Rhys Darby. It's Rhys Shearsmith.
Rhys Shearsmith, that's it. And things that they do. I mean, fair enough. The League of Gentlemen is comedy, but
it's darker. It's the darkest.
That's the thing, though. We have the ability to go very dark. Whereas Americans basically lean on, let's say, cannibalism and mutilation, physical things.
It's straight to the point.
Whereas we get creepy fucking characters.
And that's generalising a bit. I'm sure there's exceptions.
No. I'm just saying predominantly our taste for it when we produce it
that's what
for the
That's
market.
what I'm alluding to. When I say British films, I mean that more the... Not necessarily film or shot in Britain, but there's that feel of a Brit. Yeah. There's always something a little bit... Not depressing... but almost like reluctant to
grey.
Yeah, it's that I suppose you won't know about unless you're British. It's that British mentality that's a little bit resistant to accept things so willingly. That kind of grumpy old man, like no. And then that's how films come off at some point.
That's what gives it the realism sometimes for me, is that you get the fact he's like, fuck off, I'm not getting out. And like, no, you've got to come as a werewolf. Oh, piss off. Whereas the American public, I'll get my gun off, fuck it all. It seems to be
come on, Skeeter.
Yeah, it seems to be more of a scripted response. They'll say something stupid and epic, whereas when we do it, it's more, like I say, more down to earth. It'll go, oh fuck, oh right,
Yeah.
It just seems a bit more natural.
Maybe too much it does, I don't know.
But again, it's probably just our perspective on it because we are of the British persuasion.
Yes, we are indeed. So that covers. Would you recommend it?
Yeah. Is there a films like it question?
There used to be a films like it question.
I might tinker with that previous question, because would I recommend it? Sure, why not? Like, because if someone says I want to watch a film tonight, and I'll go, how much do you want to watch a film? Like, do you want to just put it on and ignore it? Yeah, all right, stick that on then. You can kind of ignore that. But if someone said I fancy watching something a bit like, I would say.
So what film would someone have?
Would I recommend?
Yeah.
Would be that of a similar tone. I would say The Fallen with Denzel Washington.
Oh yes.
Because that is a great example of this kind of film, of a spirit or a possession that is able to possess different people.
And it's got John Goodman in it.
Yeah, it does actually.
That is a really good film, and I think that might have just hit Netflix last week.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I have it
on DVD disc.
I saw it pop up. Yeah. That's a good question to ask. What film would you?
I mean, that's similar, or that might be a better variant of, or something like that. Because in that one they deal with that really well, because the suspense is there. It could be anyone, because I think in that it just transfers by touch.
It's touch, isn't it?
So literally, there's a really good scene in it. I mean, no spoilers or whatever, but watch it if you haven't seen it. I think it's great. Where he's just out in public, so obviously everyone just grabs each other's arms.
You just see
it like a domino,
bouncing around. And it's always, again, it's from that first person perspective, isn't it? Like a hazy view, and you just see.
So it's really cool.
And it's got quite a good ending as well.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. And is Liev Schreiber in that one as well?
Probably.
Fuck.
Liev Schreiber turns up in everything.
Possibly.
It's Denzel. Early Denzel.
It is.
John Goodman.
I think he is. I might be getting confused with Phantoms, but I'm sure he's in it.
Phantoms was the bomb, yo.
It was the bomb. Again, another decent horror film. But no, like that. I reckon that one's kind of in the same vein. It deals with this ideal. It's somewhere in between.
So yeah, if you wanted a possession film, basically,
I'd say go for that.
But
one.
more of a social possession film, not like The Exorcist.
No,
because The Exorcist is a possessed demon, a possessed child.
A possessed child. Yeah. But again, that is I mean, it's a weird instance, isn't it? You've got if you think about ghosts, the only way to get rid of them is through religion, apparently through Christianity. All demons hate Christianity, but anything else, it's kind of like fair play. It's like silver bullet. If it's a haunting or a ghost, it's got to be the church that bans it. Otherwise, it could be anything else.
Unless
like
it's
blowtorch.
Unless it's Uncle Boonmee who can recall his past lives.
That's a weird film, but I like that.
It's a really weird one. It's kind of soothing to watch.
It is.
She has sex with a fish. That's one thing I quite liked about the film is that they killed a fire demon with fire.
Yeah, you got to fight fire with fire.
You got to fight fire with fire. Yeah, I quite like that.
But it shows that they didn't, did they?
No, because but see, here's the thing.
Because he is the fire.
Yeah, and so he was banished originally by being burnt. That worked. Second time didn't work.
No.
So
not so much.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird one.
Maybe because
he goes to like, was he actually ever banished? You know.
I think he was, but then you've got this whole thing about. I quite liked as well. But I think the most interesting bit of the whole film was his dad's relationship with Becca and that whole him watching over him. I thought gave it a bit more ground to it.
Yeah.
And I quite liked the whole bit about him finding out and then piecing it together. I still think it could have been fleshed out more.
I do. I think that could have led better with some solo exploration of Becca's flat from Liam. You know, going back after the fact, or him being the discovery, or something that led him on like a bit of a sideways journey to try and figure shit out. Whilst the rest of the gang ham-fist the second, try and do it, and he comes back and there's a whole shit goes wrong.
And there's also a bit of a grey area with. Becca was put there to look after him. I got the impression that there should have been a reason why they did the Ouija board, which was more linked to his past, not just a coincidence.
Yeah.
And also, what were they doing in the first place in Morocco? Because his dad was a devil worshipper. Surely he wanted to call a jinn? Maybe it was an accident. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just been playing at it, couldn't they? Yeah.
If you're a devil worshipper, that's the kind of stuff you want to happen.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously not to you, I guess. You want to summon one and go, right, kill all my enemies. Oh no, stop killing me. No, don't kill me. That's the bad kind of team.
It's that bad jinn.
That's not what you
It's
want.
not the Gordon's jinn.
It's not the slow jinn. The fast gin. Anyway,
the whole film could be seen as an allegory for alcoholism. Bunch of students get killed by gin.
Yeah. Hilarity ensues. But I don't know. What was the question?
That one was. Well, you kind of changed that one to what?
I did. Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, the last one would be: would you have paid?
It's like. Yeah.
Would you have paid to see it at the cinema?
I think at the time.
I think I did at the time.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it came on now, like let's say done with the graphics of the era and the cast of the era. I don't think I'd go and see it. I think I probably would watch it, but I wouldn't rush out to see it.
No, I mean, and would you watch it again as well? I guess I think that's it for me for this film.
No, that's again. I got everything I needed from it, which sometimes it's not a bad thing to just be like, yeah, I saw it, it happened, and I don't feel bad about it, but I'm not going to tell everyone that I know to rush out and see it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it when it first came out, and it left a little bit of an impression on me, and I was always like, I can't really remember what happened. So I really wanted to revisit it to see if it was good, and it wasn't as good as I remembered, obviously.
No.
But then the same is for things like I mentioned before, Death Watch. I want to watch that again.
Yeah.
I remember there's a scene in it where, is it Nick Marshall from the BT ads? He has a wank and then gets killed by a ghost. It's great.
Nice.
But I bet the film's poo now if I go and see it, but it's one of them things that you've got to revisit, haven't you?
Yeah.
When you've got hazy memories of nostalgia, you've got to go and see if it's good still.
I think it probably comes back to your earlier question anyway, like, does it hold up? It probably is just that now.
Yeah.
I think it's probably quite a good film that at the time was probably quite scary, was a bit different and made everyone go, ooh, fuck, ooh,
I think, yeah,
nice.
it feels like a low budget vessel for a few people from telly to have a film to act within.
Yeah, I don't know. I see it as light entertainment. This one, it's not going to challenge any preconceptions about anything or break the mold, but it's just different enough to not be absolute shit.
It's a solid just over 5 out of 10. It's a medium. It's a it's a chicken tikka masala.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's
okay. It's fine.
Okay. Right. I'm just gonna show you now my complete review. Fucking hell. My complete review and notes on this film. If you can even read that.
It was okay.
There you go. That is it. Usually I've got like a good half a page of I quite like this scene and the way they did it. I've just got it was okay.
Yeah, I think to summarise, there was nothing about it that annoyed me enough to hate it, and nothing about it that I loved enough to love it.
No,
it was just fine.
It just didn't have a massive pull.
Yeah, not wide, and not too appealing to the genre fans either. I don't think.
Yeah, no, probably not. Again, I've never heard this one mentioned when discussing films with horror fanatics.
I have no idea if it would have ever even landed in America or across seas. This is why I thought it felt like a little bit of an anomaly, because usually horror films are quite big budget things that are they're always worldwide seen, aren't they? You look at things like Insidious or whatever crap they shit out these days. Yeah. They're usually a big because they make money. They make money. So for a small horror film to come up, it's quite a different because it's probably not going to be a box office smash.
No, not unless they try and put some hook behind it, like The Lady in Black or whatever it is. Like, oh, well, let's make it. It's going to be a period piece, and we'll put fucking Harry Potter in it or whatever. They make a point of trying to make it niche.
Yeah,
and they put Nicole Kidman in it for some reason. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, they've got like some half a good idea, but they just scramble it and just do loads of jump scares, loads of volume up, and it just becomes a bit lazy.
The jump scare is the worst. What you want is the silent scare. You should see something and it go quiet. That's creepy.
Yeah,
a big bang just goes, oh, fuck you. But if it pans around and it's quiet and you see something, that's way more scary.
Yeah,
when will filmmakers get that?
It's one of these things as well. Like, I don't really much care for the cliche of the shut the bathroom cabinet, see the thing in the mirror. But that is still a better scare than just going Vroom!
Yeah,
because it's like fuck, come on. Like, it's got nothing to do with my involvement. It's just that a very loud noise has shocked my ears.
The bloke in the sound studio put that and put the volume up.
Yeah, and it did nothing. It didn't make me go, oh, it was really scary because of that. It made me go, fucking, it was just too loud.
It's all about what you don't see and what you don't hear. And
but it's the story. If you're involved enough in the characters that you care about their plight, or the entity is actually that fucking scary that the mere thought of you ever running into this circumstance makes you project onto those characters, which is what you want from a horror film. Then it's just lazy. It is literally just irritating to just keep hearing violins go. Yeah.
Bang, boom, boom. Just schizophrenic sound work, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to wrap it up and summarise, I feel like it's like we said, it's an okay film. It's okay. Yeah. I feel like it missed a step with not being more of a character piece and being focused on who's possessed. That would have been a much better movie, I think, than trying to go down the slasher route.
Yeah.
They should have really explored that and because you've got that group of friends and they've all got chemistry. Work with that. Don't split them all up and do things on their own.
Exactly, yeah. Like I said, I think it would have worked better, unfortunately, to fit the formula and have them all in the same house to do that right. None of us is leaving. We know one of us is it. Mm-hmm. Process of elimination, some kind of shit. I think that would have been better, a little bit more tense. And then perhaps even made that ending where you don't know that Rob... Well, the gin is now not in Rob, but is in Liam. I think that would have made that ending a lot better. Probably a bit more unexpected if it was, to be a couple of weeks later, and then it's, whatever. But again, I think it's the issue that it was probably quite a well thought out, quite well done film at the time. It just hasn't really held up too well.
Hasn't held up. It's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Okay out of one okay out of awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that about sums up Long Time Dead.
It does.
It'll probably stay Long Time Dead on my shelf for quite some time. I had to pay a penny for that DVD because it's not on any streaming service. Oh, so we should probably say that it's not on any streaming services. Couldn't find it on YouTube or anywhere, so had to buy a 1p DVD off of Music Magpie.
I still think you paid twice as much as you needed to.
We don't do a friendly bit anymore, whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean the postage was a bit more than you paid for.
Oh, the postage was shocking.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy a DVD?
Yeah, I know, I'm alright. Yeah, it was just okay, but I'm hoping the next one's going to be a little bit more. Don't want to jump the gun because I think this is my first suggestion.
No, you suggested They Live.
Oh, They Live.
Yeah.
So that worked out well.
That worked out well. So I get drunk a lot and make lists.
Yeah, exactly.
So I throw a lot of ones up to do. But yeah, no, your next. You want to say what it is, or do you want?
Yeah, I do because I think this time I'm going to give people a heads up. Just in case they would actually want to watch the film before we talk about it.
Maybe do your homework before.
Yeah, I mean, you might watch the film and go, well, I don't need to listen to these fucking losers. But don't do that then.
I like to think that listening to us makes people watch a film, or vice versa.
Yeah, either way, it's on Netflix, so that made it easy. But it's just simply called The Arena.
Is it The Arena or Arena?
I think it's just Arena, actually.
I think I noticed. I think the date. I think it's 1989 was the date.
I mean, it looks super 80s, super fucking just terrible. I can't wait. So yeah, I'm going to say we do that one next time, and then we'll switch back, and you can do the next one again.
Solar Babies.
Yeah, we've already got that one.
If we're going for the 80s, I need to revisit Solar Babies. But okay, no. So next time we'll do Arena.
Cool. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
And we'll battle it out in the sweaty attic.
It is fucking unreal right now. I know I'm going to be listening to this in the week at work, so I'm just going to say, make the best of the aircon now that you always complain about in the office, because right now you fucking hate this ball sweat. See you later, Dan.
I won't be listening to it because I'm on a course. But when I'm listening to it later and editing it, you're nearly done. You can cut it right here after we've said ta-ra. Ta-ra.
Bye. Ta-ra.